Hey guys, all my beautiful people out there, welcome to my channel. Uh, I'm gonna find something to talk about. I always do. Um, but I figured I owed you guys a live stream because I didn't live stream on Saturday. Uh, so anyway, um, I did want to ask how you're liking my new debunk videos. Um, I've gotten some positive feedback, but I was wondering if you guys had any suggestions on, like, how to make them better, you know, and that sort of thing. Um, so if you have any ideas, um, leave them in the comment section. I do read each and every comment. I love you guys. And so, hey, Crypta. Hey, Mac. And so I read each and every comment. So just put in the comment section what I can do to improve my debunk videos. And I'd much appreciate it. Um, well, how about an open room? You guys want an open room? Hey, Marianne. Hey, Mark. Okay, there you go. And anybody is welcome. So anyway, okay, Crypta. Uh, anyway, but yeah, I was looking for something to do while my arm was healing. Because it's my dominant hand that's broken and healing. So, um, and well, John Pendleton, let's face it. He's not exactly the sharpest knife in the door. Of course, what creationist is, right? You know, so anyway, I have to admit some of them are better than others. Um, just because they're better dish scallopers, uh, or they come up with the craziest claims, and you got to um, uh, go track them down, and like, who the hell came up with this? You know, it's like the creationists call it the starlight problem, uh, but real scientists call it the horizon problem. Um, I'm not 100% sure what that is, so I'm not going to take a stab at it. But yeah, real scientists call it the horizon problem. And I can't wait for Apologia to come out. Hey, Limited. Um, with the second part of Night at the Creation Museum, Atheist Review Night at the Creationist Museum, or something. I don't know. He's doing it with Shannon Q, which I think is cute because they do a lot of things together on YouTube, you know. And yeah, they use that one a lot. It's ridiculous. It, I mean, really. Hey, Nevermore. Hey, Trusty Ape. I can have up to 9 people, including myself. So if you want to come in, come on in. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's really, yeah, light used to be faster. Really? You're going with that? Hey, Gur. Get your ass in here, Gur. They say a lot of things used to be different, but yet they say, okay, so they talk out of both sides of their mouth, right? Because um they say that uniformitarian uniformitarianism is silly, but for some things they they do uniformitarianism. Hey
Hello.
Zebra, what's up?
Hello, I heard uniformitarianism, and I thought I gotta get in on this.
Well, I was just saying creationists talk out of both sides of their mouth because sometimes.
Creationist bingo.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
The,
Um,
yeah, I think, as I recall, it's the notion that laws or scientific laws are uniform and aren't given to random change. Is that it? We
yeah,
don't, uh, we don't believe that when we analyze the past, we don't think that time or geology or chemistry work differently than it does today. The laws are uniform.
yeah, and they'll say the creationists will say, "Well, that's just ridiculous," and then they'll turn right around and they'll say, "But the speed of light was faster in the past." I'm like, "What?"
Hmm. Yes, they use that to explain away the age of the universe as measured from light. Um, so things couldn't be X number of light years away if, because the age of the universe would be, too old for their liking. It's cryptomeria.
Hello,
Hey,
Big Z.
Kryptomeria.
Hello, Lisa. Yay. Hope you're doing well.
Oh, I'm doing fine. But you know the weird thing is, and I point this out in um a lot of my uh videos. The Bible never actually says how old the universe is.
Not explicitly.
It
No.
doesn't. No, no, it doesn't.
At least
So
a
they're
week
not
old.
really Bible literalists, are they?
Hmm. Well, I read something that I thought was really interesting. It was about Bishop Usher and his estimate the Bible indicating that the dawn of the universe was 4,500 years ago or something like that. And apparently
6,000
his
years.
scholarship, just based on how old so and so was when he died and
But
when
his math
Egypt
wasn't
was,
correct.
maybe not, but his scholarship was really good for the most part. It's just that it's put to an absurd purpose.
Yeah, yeah. And
What does
and
that?
then
Sorry, keep going.
and another thing is, I mean, God lied to the first man and woman. He said, "If you eat this fruit, the day you eat of it, you will die."
Mm.
Adam lived 930 years past that. That's not in the
Yeah,
day
yeah,
you
went a
eat
bit
of it.
overdue. It was like a library book, and just didn't. I wanted to ask Cryptomeria that her signature says Cryptomeria, comma Darth something, and I wonder what the rest is. Hello, Cryptomeria. Have we?
Cryptomeria,
Maybe we've lost her.
no, she would drop if we lost her.
Oh, it
Um,
says Darth Pixie. Okay, I found
yeah,
it in a
I
different
think
place.
that's in. I think that's in reference to another YouTuber.
Darth Dawkins, or maybe Pixie something or other.
Yeah, Pixie something or other. I don't
Yeah,
think she would give a nod to
mm,
Darth
Darth
Dawkins.
Dawkins. Yeah,
Hey,
and we have
Lori.
some. Huh?
How are you guys?
Hey, David. What's
Hi.
Hey
up?
there.
Eh, just hanging out. Saw you guys were on and figured I'd join. I mean, at first nobody was joining. I was trying to get set up so I could join, and then all of a sudden you have several people on.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah.
what's going on? I see Gurr. I was just saying hi to Gurr in the stream. He hasn't had a, he hasn't had a stream in a while. So just
Yeah,
saying
Gurr.
hello to him. Yeah.
I
What
didn't
the
know
fuck
Gurr
is up
has
with that,
streams.
Gurr?
Oh yeah, he does. He has. That's the actual name of the stream. It's Gurmania Streams. He set
Yeah.
up a completely separate channel away
Mm.
from his, regular channel, and he was just, doing hangouts like this, just live streams, and Lisa knows she's on them all the time.
Oh, yeah. I love him.
Oh, Cryptomeria said she will join us in a moment. She's just a little behind on something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lordy. So, was there a subject to today's chat, or are we doing freestyle?
Freestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I owed you a live stream because I didn't do Saturday live stream.
Hmm.
So,
The well, that sounds good. I will. I will think of something to contribute in a moment. I'm sure.
I have
so,
a
what do you
question.
guys think of my debunks?
Oh, I'm enjoying them.
I
I
like it.
always like
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a
I'm starting.
question
Yeah.
to maybe bring up, Lisa, and see what your opinion is on it. I mean, obviously, on Tangelo, and
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
all the drama and all the things that have been going on for what, several months, right? Way back, he's been banned. He was banned from a lot of channels. Basically, everybody kind of just said, "Okay, enough is enough" because of his behavior. But I see he's slowly weaseling his way back into places. Like people, are starting to kind of like accept him back in. I was just wondering what you thought of that. Like, um,
Oh, I
you
think
know,
I banned.
what's your
No,
opinion?
I did not ban one of his accounts on my channel,
Hmm.
but I blocked him on another channel, and I
Yeah,
think that blocked that account on my channel too. So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. Probably did. Yep.
Angela, I don't mind you um being, on my channel or whatnot. Just
Yeah,
come on with another name. I mean,
yeah.
Was on
Well,
Tangelo. What did he do to merit banning? I don't recall him swearing or calling people being
Well,
rude or anything.
he made a post. Was it on Twitter? Well, Facebook, I think. I think that's where he originally like Antangelo's on all the social media places like he does Twitter, he's
Yep.
on what is it, the Facebook. See, I'm not, I don't go on any
I
of that stuff.
avoid Facebook like it's the plague.
Yeah, I
Like it's
don't do
COVID,
it. Yeah,
like
yeah,
crossed with mutant alligators. Like I
yeah,
don't like Facebook.
yeah.
So what did he do in this
So,
post that was so bad?
well, he was going after he hates Matt Dillahunty, right? Okay,
Mm,
he of course they have a long-standing relationship that's been going on for years, right?
right.
On Tangelo, I mean, maybe I don't know how familiar you are with the past as far as like, he's been banned off of all the shows, the Atheist Experience, the Line, all those call-in shows he's
Mm.
made. He's made all kinds of call-in shows and just, you know, I don't know.
Okay,
I guess
well,
you could
I
say
just
he acted
I
like an
remember him
asshole.
as being another annoying Christian
Right,
rather
right. It's
than
basic.
someone who says,
Right,
"Oh, you're an idiot, you suck."
right,
Well, I
right.
talked to him today. I wished him Happy New Year. It
Yeah.
was a reading of Marcus de Sade on an occult channel, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" He's like,
So what?
"This is gonna go bad," and he's like, "I don't take offense to that," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Right.
no, good to see you, but this might
Well,
not be your cup of tea, eh?"
Yeah,
Mm,
he
mm.
always goes for the same shit. It's like the Shroud of Turin and this and that and the
No,
other.
he was totally polite and just left. I think
Okay,
it was too much for him.
maybe he
It
was
was more
embarrassed.
yeah,
He was in a
also
Marquis de Sade channel, and he's a
and,
religious
and
guy.
and also I recognized him. It's like seeing someone in the pub and it's like, oh hey, that's not your wife, you
Yeah,
know.
that's good. It's Pixie
yeah.
Storms. Hi.
So you know what he originally did? He posted Matt is dating. What's her name? It's
I,
Arden. Is it Arden? Right?
I have no idea.
Arden of Eden, I think she goes by.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
passingly familiar with her.
Okay. Well, she's dating. Or Matt Dillahunty is dating her right now.
Mm,
Okay.
So, and she is going. She had gone through. I assume recently. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that much about her myself. I mean, she's fairly new to the community, but
mm.
and she's been on all kinds of
Oh, did he
all
say
the
something? There are
shows.
a bunch of new women on the scene, and a bunch of them are trans women.
Right.
Is she one of
Exactly.
them?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so he did
Arden.
something terrible,
She
right?
goes right, and he on Tangela posted. There must have been some old postings of her during her transition. She did, she
Yeah,
must have had old postings on Facebook, I believe. So of course, Antangelo grabbed those somehow, you know, screenshotted them or did whatever. I never
yeah,
saw the actual post.
Anything you put online is
Right,
there
is
forever.
there?
It is
Right, yeah,
like
yeah,
we might as well be casting tablets in stone.
right, right.
And hopefully some of these make it 1,000 years. So we're immortals.
Yeah.
mm,
So anyway,
Yeah.
he made a post to get at, just to be an ass about to Matt Dillahunty and, you know, just degrading, like trying to degrade him as though he's dating somebody improper or whatever, whatever the purpose of that was, right?
yeah,
Well, that's what I mean, the whole entire community, because everybody knows Antangelo because he's all over the place, right? Everybody knows him because he's everywhere. So once that happened, that he stepped over the line there, like just so
Well, I
bad,
have an
right?
alternative way to treat Ontangelo. Is that if you identify as male, then always say to him when you see him, Ontangelo, I will never, ever have sex with you again.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, yeah,
And so, thus implying that you've had sex with him.
yeah, yeah.
And that, sorry, that's just my gut
So
go to reaction. to
Yeah.
homophobes and transphobes.
Yeah,
And,
so he's just, it was just really nasty. And the whole, of course, like I said, the whole entire community, like just said, he went way overboard on D'Angelo. That was completely inappropriate, whatever. So the whole
mm,
community responded, and everybody, I mean, almost every channel banned him,
mm,
blocked him. I mean, he was basically outcast for probably a couple of months. And it's basically still going on, but because it's been so long, people are starting to, allow him into chat. Like even if he went into chat, he would be completely banned. People would just throw him out, and that still
mm,
happens. Mods will, but mostly mods are just timing him out now, and he'll just, eventually leave or whatever. But he's just kind of like slowly weaseling his way back into the community, basically, and people
mm.
are starting to you know, kind of accept him back in, I guess we might say, but
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it was his behavior, and now he was just allowed on. I don't know if you're familiar with Answers in Atheism. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't really
Speed,
checked it out, but I know of it.
yeah,
Speed.
I'm over there. Yeah, Speed's a good friend of mine, and I'm over there on his
Oh, is
channel.
B there? I didn't know that.
Speed, yeah, Speed of Sound is what he used to go by.
Mm.
That was the name of his channel prior, and then he changed the name to Answers in Atheism.
Oh, okay.
So
Is this the
that's
same?
yeah.
Are we thinking of the same person, the brother of Richard Manson?
No, 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 no,
Okay,
different
different.
person. Yeah. Hmm.
By the way, David, you have an
So
interesting accent. Can I ask you where you're from without revealing your
the
secret hideaway?
I am from the Northeast.
Okay.
Yeah, people say that I have that type of accent, I guess.
So
Well, I
are
like
you
it.
in
It
New
sounds good.
York? Because
Yeah.
it sounds like a New York, kind of like a New York
Yeah,
accent.
well, that's because I'm very close to there. I don't live in New York, but yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay,
that's that type
gotcha.
of accent. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want you to give
That's
away
such a
too
cool
much.
accent. I have a
yeah,
horrible one. I
yeah.
sound like a chipmunk. No, I
It's
do.
funny.
I'm
I mean,
Canadian.
when you have it,
Mhm.
you don't even you don't realize it. And I'm
Mhm.
Yeah,
sure that's probably there's many people, of course, down in the South have their type of accents, and
Mm.
of course there's different accents
yeah,
all
like
over the
me.
country. But yeah,
Of course, I'm not in the South anymore, but
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
my
I'm
Southern
Canadian, and
with
people
me.
like my voice just fine, Cryptomeria. Why are you worried?
yeah, yeah. It's interesting, but you don't even realize it. Like of
Mm.
course, I don't realize it. It's only when people mention it to me. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it is interesting, but
you
funny.
know,
Oh, I
Bostonians are the only ones that can pop the car.
That's right. That's right. Yep, we
I
parked the
don't
car.
even know what you said. Pop the car?
Park the car,
Oh, okay.
as in
wow.
They
driving
don't
the
they don't
car.
do the R. It's pop the
Park,
car.
park the car. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that just sounded horrible. I know you didn't mean it like that, but I'm like,
yeah.
wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to. And I thought my accent was bad.
It's funny. That's the only go-to phrase that people will refer to with my type of accent. That's
Mm.
always the one. Is park the car. It's I don't know why. It's just that has been around. Probably goes way back, even into the '70s, maybe, or even
Mm.
further than that. I mean, that's like so old. It's incredible. And I guess just people from the Northeast just talk that way. That's just the way, just like Southerners have that Southern accent. They just you grow up around that, and you just develop that accent. And same thing, like I mean, look at people over in Britain and England and those areas. Look at that.
Sure.
They got that accent. It's just that's the way it is. But it's
Yeah.
funny
Those,
that one phrase is so famous. Like it's just been everybody knows it. It's you brought it up, and I didn't even say it. Right? I mean,
mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just funny how that has been around as long as I can remember, and I'm 57 years old. So
Mhm.
so it's been around probably that long, at least. Maybe even longer. I'm not sure when it kind of started. But yeah, it's
I'll
fun.
have to
That's
find a YouTube
interesting.
video with a Newfoundland accent because it's
Oh,
absolutely
newfies
amazing.
are awesome. Newfies
Yeah.
are awesome. I wish I could do that. I can do a southern drawl after working with the Swaggarts, but I try and
Swedish, right?
or Alberta rodeos. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I go into cowgirl mode.
Swedish, right?
But
Swedish
Cryptonaria,
accent.
you do not sound like a chipmunk. Stop saying that. to me.
Okay, I
Yeah.
won't. But it's weird hearing yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to sort that out in my brain. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I sound like. Why
Right,
didn't
so-
anyone tell
But
me?
Do you know
I think-
who you sound like when you make that laugh? I
Huh.
love that laugh, by the way. Shannon Q.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Well, she laughs a lot. I mean, she's just a happy person, right? It's funny. Shannon
Yeah.
really laughs, when she's just in conversation. She's just a very happy person, right? So she's giggling, laughing all the time. So.
I do it because I get nervous around people.
Okay, who's this? Who's this?
Hello,
gentleman?
am I here?
Yep,
That's
you're
limited
here.
light.
This is Limited Light, and I'm from the Northeast.
Mhm.
And I'm not parking any cars. I'm parking cars. Just so you should know.
That's interesting. So you're from my area,
I grew up near Elmira.
and you're walking down
Ontario?
the street.
No. Near Elmira, New York.
I think you mean.
Oh,
New
okay.
York,
Correct.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
where I was born was just over the St. Lawrence River, and then we went to the opposite side of the state.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Hey, off topic. I just read a report that Tom Cruise may be leaving Scientology. That there are fights behind the
Oh,
scenes.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
well-
okay, the whole thing is weird, and I just don't think it should have happened to begin with. It's so weird. It's so weird. South Park nailed it because that shouldn't have happened. And if he's leaving, that's a good thing.
It is. Because it normalizes something that's so thoroughly abnormal. And Tom Cruise didn't help himself with all his couch jumping behavior on Oprah and other crazy shit. I thought the worst was on the Today Show when he started going after Matt Lauer and talking all about the history of psychology. And, dude barely graduated high school and became an actor. He could be the most well-read person out there, but I don't think he's an expert on psychology or...
No, but that's how they brainwash you in a cult. So if he is leaving, I'd rather be supportive than...
Yeah.
I will still trash him just because it's Tom Cruise. It's regardless of his religion. I trashed him before it.
L. Ron Hubbard took Dianetics to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist said, "This is pseudoscience. Get the hell out of here." And that's what started the
feud.
war with psychiatry and psychology.
Well, they actually warned that Scientology was dangerous and bad for people. So L. Ron went on the warpath.
Yeah. And so L. Ron was like, well, fuck you. I'm going to make this into a religion then.
Mm.
Which, I mean, what does that say about religion when Scientology can be considered a religion?
Well, that's and getting away with it too. There was a weird thing that happened in Toronto where the police went apeshit on Scientology and raided the headquarters.
Uh-huh.
And I think what happened is that, if I remember correctly, they discovered that someone on their staff was a Scientologist, which is not a problem, but was using their access to give Scientology headquarters information on all these people.
Okay, I'm not going to swear on Lisa's stream, but we ran out Scientology in Victoria. No, we ran them out. Like, they did, they're really like allowed here, and people who are
Hmm.
really keep it quiet. And I can't believe that. That is illegal.
How did you
That is
run them out?
because they're idiots and nobody paid attention to them.
Oh, okay.
Like common sense ruled in the end.
We should say
Well,
hello to Randolph. Hello, Randolph.
hey,
Hello,
Randolph.
hello, Randolph.
Well,
Hello.
you know, Cryptomaria, if common sense ruled the roost, young earthers wouldn't be a thing. So
But that's an American thing to me, so I have no idea what you're doing down there. Not my problem. It seems to be your problem. That's why I'm supportive. I wouldn't want to deal with that.
What we
Dr.
have
Marion,
in
Send 'em all
Canada.
up.
did you
We'll
say
send 'em all.
Victoria? Sorry.
We'll send them all north of the border. How about that?
Randolph's having trouble getting a word in edgewise. Why don't we give him the floor for a minute?
We don't want we don't want any more flat earthers here in Canada than we already have. Crypto Mary, did I hear you correctly? You're saying something about Victoria?
I think Randolph, she was talking about Scientologists getting run out of Victoria because no one paid them any attention whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is that Victoria here in Canada or Victoria somewhere else? There's a few places around the world called Victoria. That's all I'm
Yeah.
curious about.
Cryptomaria lives north of the border.
Oh, okay. So it's probably Victoria, BC. That's pretty close to me. I'm in the Greater Vancouver area. Just a
Yeah.
ferry ride across to get there. The ferry is an extension of our highway. So yeah, there are Scientologists here in the Greater Vancouver area, and they're quite prolific here. They don't really, you don't see them in the streets doing anything. It's more kind of behind the scenes. But and I did some work for some of them once. They paid all their bills, but when they found out that I'm an atheist, after hiring a private investigator to follow me around and all this kind of stuff, they and I got the police involved for that one, so that stopped the private investigator from tailing me on the roads. But the work dried up.
Let me guess, you were
Wow.
nothing but good to them, but they hounded you anyway.
That's insane.
Yeah, and all these problems started up when they started asking me if I knew anything about Dianetics, all the books on the boss's bookshelf. And that's kind of where things started to sour. I didn't say anything bad. I just said, I like the Buddhist philosophy is typically how I used to answer when people ask me that at work, and then I move on, because I find that response tends to kind of make the conversation die off. But now I just tell people, no, I don't believe. I'm not going to do anything more than I need to. Just leave it at that. It rarely comes up in the workplace here that people ask about religion or politics. People usually stay away from those topics.
Yeah, we try and avoid it. It's not the place for a workplace.
It's a private matter. Those are private matters.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's Canadian culture in a nutshell.
Oh,
Part of it.
I got a message on my phone because for some reason I always get spam messages. Go figure. But anyway, I got a message on my phone that 45 was coming back, and I'm like, and they're like, would you like to join? I'm like, fuck no.
How could
that
possibly happen? They're already on number 46, U.S. presidents.
Oh, that bullshit. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that bullshit.
So I was thinking 45 records.
It's not possible to. It's not possible to go back to a 45th president. That's just impossible because they're already on number 46. That's what you got to explain to them.
That's
funny. God. Yeah, but they're idiots. What do you want? What do you want from them? They're idiots.
Yeah.
And what's bizarre is there are Trump supporters here in Canada and in many other countries.
I know. They're like, you can't vote for him, and we want Mexico's wall. So can we?
Oh, Trump talked about creating a wall between Canada and the U.S. and making Canada.
Everyone was for that up here. We were like, yeah, game on. I don't see a problem.
No, we don't want to pay for that. I'd rather continue to put the
No,
money.
we
into
already
programs.
crowdsourced it.
Oh, really? How much?
Yeah,
How much
yeah.
did you raise?
No, and we bid twice as much as Mexico. How come they got one?
Yeah,
Well,
he said
see,
that
they
we have a
didn't, not
heroin
a-
epidemic. He said we have a heroin
They
epidemic. in
didn't really, not a full one anyway.
No, it's not as bad as he said, but he seems to think the heroin epidemic is contagious.
Hilarious. I think that we should create a 49th parallel corridor. There already is one, really, where the trees are cut down right where the borderline would be. But we should patrol it with polar bears, rabid wolverines, that sort of thing.
Well, we already patrol it, and if you walk across that, you're going to meet somebody very quickly who is going to take you into custody and question you.
What if it was out in the wilderness somewhere?
Yeah, they have cameras watching those parts of the border as well. So people do manage to sneak across sometimes, but usually they get caught. So most of the people, it's just not worth it.
Or they die in the middle of the prairies. Like, I see people try it, and it's the most awful video sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't want to cross there.
It's we have
hot
big
in the summer and bitter cold in winter. When are you going to do it?
So you're talking about the heroin epidemic from Trump. Like, he seems to get everything wrong about COVID-19 and anything to do medical or scientific. And like, I remember hearing him say on the radio about how he could smell COVID-19 coming a mile away. And I thought,
yeah, right.
If you can smell it, if you can smell it, it's already too late. You got it.
If you can smell it, you don't have COVID. Bad joke. I'm sorry. I actually have to drop off. I actually have to drop off. And it was wonderful talking. I'm going to be in the side chat.
It's good talking with you, neighbor.
Awesome. You take care.
Good talking with you, neighbor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, that fool is never getting in office again. I mean, I doubt he could win dog catcher at this point.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he, if he ran again, he'd get the same Republican bootlickers as before. And, but I don't think he will be able to run. But he could just do the same bullshit he did before. Get the nomination, run.
See, I could see them taking on a strategy like making him VP and somebody else president. Like Mike Pence could run for president and Donald Trump can be the VP. And although I think with Donald Trump's ego, he probably wouldn't like that.
I think Mike Pence would have something to say about that.
Yeah. So that's probably not going to. They'll have to get somebody else, but I can see Donald Trump not being happy about being second fiddle. His ego's too big for that.
More than willing to hang him out to dry.
Yeah, things went sour at the end there with him and Pence.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a little falling out.
Yeah, I am not going to say what happened because that'll get this stream demonetized.
Oh boy.
Let's not say what happened, but let's just say the sex was really bad.
So that's why Pornhub banned him. Did you see that? The Twitter posting or the Pornhub announced that they have banished Donald Trump from their platform right after he got banished from Twitter and everything else?
That's great.
Pornhub probably banned him because he's got such a small dick.
How do you get banished from that kind of website? Like,
well, they just did it for fun, great publicity. You know. The rumor about Trump is from Stormy Daniels that he has a sort of mushroom dick. Oh, I think we're demonetized now. By the way, Lisa.
I don't want to hear this. This doesn't interest me.
Oh, you want all the details?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah.
Well,
juicy
actually,
details.
Zebra, the word dick doesn't get you demonetized.
It doesn't?
Nope.
What if we had pictures?
I would not allow that.
I was reading somebody put a question up a while ago after Donald Trump was out of the White House. They're asking how long it'll take to get all the orange coloring out of the White House. Like, there's a lot of strange
Oh my
questions. that came up.
God.
Yeah, well, apparently he lifted some things out of the White House, but we don't know what they were. But stuff that was White House property and just took it.
Didn't they accuse the Democrats of doing that too?
I'm sure they do. Well,
Right after-
projection, and also as a defense, just accuse other people of doing what you do.
Well,
So
I mean, that's what his base does anyway. So you know what? He just borrowed from his base.
mm,
It's called projection.
yes,
There seem to be a lot of people want him reelected, and his age is going to be a factor because I don't know. I wonder how well he's doing mentally because we haven't heard from him. Like, he's out there and active, but you're not seeing any videos put out on YouTube or anything from anybody. I'm just not seeing them. They're not coming up.
yeah. It's the thing is just that he got more votes the second time he ran.
Yeah.
And that was really significant. I thought more votes the second time you run. When the second time you run, you don't get the same fanfare you did when you first ran.
Well, yeah, but he was defeated because the Democrats made a real big push to have everyone on the Democrat Party roll to vote. You know,
They need to keep the blue waves going.
and the you know what didn't help his cause any.
Of the virus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Are we
probably lost a few
qualified for
viewers
that?
that way too. From people dying from it.
Yeah.
I just find it scary that so many people support that. Like, I was commenting the other day to somebody that if he was running that way in the 1950s, no political party would take him because you're bragging about grabbing people's genitalia or things like that. Like, this is just not acceptable behavior publicly in the 50s. So,
Right,
like, they talk about their family values and traditions and traditional family values and all this. I'm thinking your traditions have changed if you're bringing people like Donald Trump in to run.
Yeah, I mean that's not traditional family values. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
Also, the excuse making. Oh, that it was just locker room talk. You know, I've been in a lot of locker rooms, and we don't talk about sex. You know, a bunch of naked guys. You know, I'm not going to start conversations about sex just so people know.
No, it's usually all the guys are quiet and just getting changed and getting the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lone
Not
Wanderer,
even making eye contact. What's that, Lisa?
Oh, I was saying hello to Lone Wanderer's bunker.
Hello, Lone Wanderer. It's Bunker.
Yeah, so anyway, all right, enough of that. Let's go on to something else.
Yeah, something happier, like how about David Silverman?
I don't know about David Silverman.
Oh, he just posted on Twitter yesterday about how he would not date one of the U.S. politicians, but he wanted to spank her.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, I bet.
AOC, I think, are her initials.
Oh, I see.
And I made a quick video clip responding to that this is not appropriate behavior, or this is not appropriate. Please take corrective action. I think you can do better than this. And there's a lot of nasty responses to him. Last time I checked, there's close to 100, but today there's probably more. And most of the people are asking, "What's wrong with you? What happened to you?" And some people stating, "I used to look up to you." Lisa, he was running the American Atheists for quite a long time.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, see, I'm pretty new to atheism. Just became I just started my journey out of religion 4 years ago, I think.
Okay.
When I started my channel, you'll have to go look to see.
So about
But
4 years.
anyway,
Yeah.
so true, nevermore.
And Pope Francis got in the news again.
Oh, what did he do this time?
Where is it? He said apparently he hit out at cancel culture. Um, he doesn't like cancel culture apparently. Says the guy who's has the power to excommunicate people.
How ironic.
I know, it's a real shock. But in fairness, the Catholic Church doesn't often excommunicate people. And the last, most famous one was a bishop who went crazy. And then, for some strange reason, Francis let him back into the church.
He simmered down, did he?
No, I
In
don't
there?
think so. I don't think he. I don't think the bishop cleaned up his act. But I can't remember what the hell the bishop said in the first place. So I'm afraid I'm not a good source of news on that issue.
You know, that Catholic Church is a very strange structure for a multinational business.
A little bit of trivia: the Catholic Church interior command structure, for lack of a better phrasing, is
Yeah.
called the magisterium.
Magisterium, I've heard that term before.
Yeah, it was used to make fun of the Catholic Church in those books. Maybe it was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And they had a magisterium that was evil and in charge of things in this alternate universe.
Wow.
No wonder so many Christians like that book.
Mm.
I mean,
Non-Catholic Christians.
Yeah.
it's kind of bad when the Catholic Church calls people out. I mean, seriously, I'm not going to say what they do, but we all know what they do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're shoplifters.
So
If you haven't heard that term before.
it's kind of bad when they start calling people out, you know.
Mm.
The problem is they've been bad from the beginning.
Well, haven't all religions been bad from the beginning?
That's a good point.
I mean, maybe not the earlier ones with not the gods, but like the spirits, you know, the ancestor worship and all that. That probably wasn't that bad. But
Mhm.
when you get to the religions that have gods, it's kind of like, yeah, now you're just wanting to take advantage of people.
Man.
Hey, I call them like I see them. That's why you guys like me.
Mm.
Hey, Purple.
The so what's going to be Tom Cruise's next religion?
Oh, is he left for Scientology?
Well, there are rumors. Apparently, he's really lowered his donations, has had words with various people. They're probably, maybe he's sick of having them tell him what to do. So, you know.
Huh.
It's more of a rumor at this point.
Well, if he actually leaves, don't be surprised if you start seeing all kinds of lewd stuff about him and bad things he's done in his past.
Oh, yeah.
Because
oh yeah,
people who-
I've heard Scientology does that shit to people.
yeah. There's quite a
By
few
the way,
people who
Church
talk
of
about that.
Scientology, do not come after me. I'm only saying what I heard.
I'll create a fake Scientology Twitter account and maybe I'll call it Xenu Lives or something.
Yeah, perp. I've got nerve. What you gonna do about it? I'm just kidding with you.
That's pretty good.
Yes, Cryptomaria, they do.
So, two famous people died today. There was Bob Saget and there was Robert Durst, and together they're an unlikely pair.
Huh. What the fuck is up with people with famous people dying? Betty White died not too long ago.
Hmm. Well, you'll have to ask them, but they won't reply.
Oh, well, just get a necromancer.
Hmm. Oh, that would be a great campaign. Reanimate Betty White.
Yeah, I
Yes.
bet we could get a lot of people donating to that one.
Ooh. Oh, actually, a lot of people would want to kill us for that. For making those sorts of jokes. But on the other hand, you can say anything you want about Robert Durst, who died in prison where he belonged.
Well, but you do know when she played Rose on the Golden Girls,
I
she did
hated that
say,
show. I never really watched it.
oh, I loved it. She did
Okay,
say
sorry.
she was going to have her head frozen so she could come back in 100 years when they had the power to reanimate people.
Mm,
So, I mean, maybe they wouldn't take it that bad, you know. Um, that it's just that was just a throwback to. That's what I was meaning. That's what I was joking about.
mm.
Because she said I know she was just playing a character on a show, but she did say that when she was playing Rose on the Golden Girls. I have my head frozen.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. If you couldn't afford the full body freezing, they would freeze your head for you. But what I like about these places is that things go wrong sometimes. There's a power outage, and everybody thaws out
Yeah, true.
because they don't have the facilities for backup. Oh, Purple mentioned Futurama. Let's see. Futurama ran with it and had them in an episode as heads in jars. By them, you mean the Golden Girls, I suppose.
I'm surprised they didn't bring back a special episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just for that one.
Mm.
Instead of brain, it'd be a head. You know what I'm talking about?
No, you mean Teenage Mutant Ninja Heads? But no, I have no idea what you're talking about, Lisa. But it sounds like a good idea. I'd probably sign on board.
Well, I didn't really like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was a cartoon, a Saturday
Hmm.
morning cartoon when those were big. I wasn't really into it, but my mom was, and so I would, you know, um, have to watch it just because she wanted to watch it.
Hmm.
And so there was so so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, um, they were regular turtles, but something happened, and there was a substance that was spilled, and they turned into mutants.
Mm.
Um, um, but the dude on the opposite side of the aisle, um, his name was Brain, and it was just like a a brain in a like a astronaut suit, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
if I'm remembering it correctly.
Well, I will check with the Google machine. Brain, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
They
and
found it.
so instead of a brain that could have like a head.
I have the link here. Putting it into public chat.
Human superpowers. Haha.
His name came out as Krang.
Oh, okay.
K-A-R
Well,
K-R-A-N-G.
I'm I'm half I'm half deaf, so sometimes that happens. Sometimes I'll hear stuff a little bit differently because I am half deaf. Hi, Ikra. So anyway, um, but yeah, like I said, sometimes that does happen because I am half deaf.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll hear another um another sound than what people are actually making. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one. But if you ever need us to speak up or speak more distinctly, please say so, Lisa.
Yeah, no problem. I will.
Because I've decided to start mumbling until you speak up. So let me get back to you on that.
Yeah. Ugh, excuse me.
Sorry, that was evil.
And oh no, no, it's fine. I make fun of my half deafness all the time. I'm like I have nerve deafness um in my
What,
right ear, so
what
you
is
know.
nerve deafness? Did you get a virus or something?
Um when I was 2, um a ping pong table fell on my head, and I don't know whether that gave me the nerve deafness or whether that ping pong table to the head um made it easier for meningitis to invade my system. So
Mm.
it could have been the meningitis that gave me the nerve deafness. I really don't know. I was only 2 years old.
I always wanted to ask you why you have a ping pong paddle sticking out the side of your head, and but I didn't want to say anything, in case it was some, peculiarity of your culture. And okay, that was really dumb. I really enjoy breathtakingly stupid humor, where, but that's, just me.
Yeah, if you want breathtakingly stupid humor, go on Girl Streams.
Oh yeah. Well, Gerstream, the actual shows is under a different channel, right?
No, it's under Girl Streams.
Yeah, it's under
It's Germania.
Germania Streams is his new channel. That his original channel is Germania, and
Mm.
he's had that
Yeah,
for a while. I think like close to 2 years, I think, or maybe even longer.
yeah,
He's
Well,
had
that's
that
his
since I
original
main
can
one.
find
channel.
it.
But
Right.
his
Yeah.
live stream channel, he does all live streams on that channel,
Yeah.
and it's Gerst Streams.
Yeah.
How do you
Germania.
spell Germania? Because I tried it with two R's.
It's GRR. That's how he does it.
Okay. Oh, all right. There. Well, let's
Germania.
give it a try. I don't have very good luck often with searching for things on YouTube. I should
Hmm.
really just do Google and see what Germania. Yeah, I'll find it sooner or later.
Okay. Oh, perps. Um, I got at the God site, yeah, I get to see God. Of course, I
Oh,
don't
can you
believe
put
in
that
God.
link in so we can
Huh?
see it?
What?
You have a website for God?
No, no. Um, I get seizures, and the type of seizures I get,
Uh,
um, they just so happen to be like, um, I see God.
Mm,
Like, of course, I really don't. You know, um, which is one reason I turned non-religious.
mm.
Is if I can't tell the difference between a real God and my seizures, then what the hell am I doing? You know?
Yeah. Oh, well, that would be a really interesting subject for a video, but you probably talked about it before and I missed it.
Big Z,
You,
sorry to
go ahead.
interrupt. I put a link in the private chat there for Gur's streams. But
Thank you,
you,
David. I
you
found it and
okay?
added
Good.
it.
Yeah,
So thank you very much.
yeah.
That's a thank you for that.
He's like I said, he hasn't been active for a little while because he's been sick. I think he hasn't
Mm.
felt well, and it's probably I don't know how long it's been. Maybe a couple of weeks actually. So
Mm. Yeah,
Well,
I've been under the weather too. I've had shingles.
I've had hoof and mouth disease. It's really terrible.
Oh my God, Zebra.
Okay,
He's
sorry.
here with the sorry ass jokes already.
Yeah, I like zebra jokes, and I just can't wait to make a zebra joke any chance I get. You know.
Okay. Well, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll talk about you.
Sure, go ahead.
Mm,
I don't care.
mumble mumble. Hey, so Richard and David, you gotta talk to me here because I'm winding down. I think I'm getting sleepy. You need to wake me up.
Are you in a different time zone?
No, I have two sleep disorders, and
Oh,
they're as much fun as you might think.
oh, okay. Yeah, I know some other people who are having challenges with sleeping as well.
Mm.
One of them's in our audience here, Purple Rams and Orange. He talks about it openly, and
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. So,
Well, Purple, if you ever want to share notes, I'm up for it. There's, I was thinking of writing a sort of handbook, a sort of self-help thing, and I was thinking of giving it a title like "So You're Well and Truly Fucked," and but unfortunately, it sounds too much like the other use of fuck, so it doesn't. Anyway, I've got to think about that title. I don't think the title goes over very well. You're muted, Randolph. Randolph is muted.
yeah, it might be more difficult to find a publisher with a title like that.
Well, actually, I worked in publishing for many years and
Okay.
managed to get one book published. And
Hey, congratulations.
well, thank you. And the funny thing is that it sets new records for not selling. It, it was almost like it was never published at all. So it was quite an achievement in a way. It's not the way you want.
Yeah, I know somebody who's going through the process of getting some books published through professional publishers, not the self-publishing route. So,
oh yeah,
all the whole peer review process and everything is in there. It's really something.
well, that'll keep you busy. There's a time when before you're finished where you think if you have to look at your manuscript one more time, you're just going to spontaneously start to vomit.
Yeah, he said he's sick and tired of reading his over and over again now.
Well, it's really hard, and I recommend. I tell people I sometimes work as a strange sort of makeshift editor. I'm the editor you get when you don't have money for an editor and you ask for a favor. I'm
Oh,
that editor.
Wow.
And I I if you have to edit your own stuff, don't edit it on screen. Go to the trouble to print it out and then read it out loud. And it makes you slow down. And suddenly the mistakes you make pop out. And you won't believe how many there are, but there are lots.
this is true. I know this from experience myself, even
Ah,
though I've not published a book, just from stuff I've done on my own.
sure. Well, a
I
lot of
forget.
people. There you go, Lisa.
I'm
Go for
sorry.
it.
I forget who made this. Maybe it was Aaron Raw. I don't know. He's a pretty funny dude. But anyway, somebody made a mistakes in the KJV. And they were
Yes.
pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah, there's one called the Wicked Bible or something like that. So it had "Thou shalt commit adultery."
Yep,
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about.
I didn't go. Wow, that would be a funny day after that service. Like let's rush out.
Well, I've just started on a project to create a feminized version of the King James Bible, and
Oh my
I'm
god.
calling it the Queen James version. So it'll be the QJV. Hopefully, it'll get more popularity than I'm expecting.
Queen Jane or Queen Jamie?
Queen Jane,
Queen James. Okay.
no Queen Jane, Jane, N for November.
All right. All right. Now I
I,
get it.
I think he's playing off of Lady Jane Grey.
Yeah.
It just rhymes with James. It works really well. I hadn't thought of that, but if you recommend that, then that's great.
Mm.
A little too cerebral for you, huh, Randolph?
I don't know. This is a huge work of fiction,
Yeah.
and I hate to call it that because that makes it sound good. It is such a poorly written piece of garbage, and I'm not even partway through Genesis yet.
Well, if there was ever a book in need of an editor, holy shit, is it the Bible?
Yeah,
Well,
Somebody do
actually, Zebra, believe it or not, the Bible has had several editors.
oh yeah,
Yeah, but you have to be served as an editor. You have to be able to say to the author, you know what, we really got to lose this chapter, and like I've had to have very awkward conversations with people
they
where
have lost a few. Yeah,
you know you have to be willing to challenge the author and still find a way to do it. You have to sort of be a writer yourself in a way.
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
But I will say, the editors of especially Genesis through Second Chronicles,
Hmm.
that had a lot of editors. I mean, a fuck ton of editors. And no one seemed to get that you really shouldn't have two separate creation stories.
Mm.
And the yuckers are going to say, oh, they aren't two creation stories. I'm like, yes, they are.
Yes. And two sets of 10 Commandments. Where it's
And two
repeated.
Red Sea crossings.
Isn't there over 300 commandments?
Oh, there's 613
Yeah,
rules to obey in the Old Testament, which Orthodox Jews observe.
I keep
Right.
cutting it in half. I got to stop doing that.
Stop doing what?
Cutting that number in half.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well,
But the Christians will say, oh, there's only 10. No, there's
No.
613.
yeah.
Or if you look at some old video footage floating around the internet, there were originally 15, but one of the 3 tablets broke when it got dropped.
I remember
And,
that from the Mel Brooks movie.
That's the one. Yeah, good old Mel Brooks.
And fun fact, one of the actual 10 Commandments is don't boil a kid in its mother's milk.
Yeah, some people think that it was Baal worship where you actually did that. And that's why the Jews did not, and actually had a rule, so as to exclude certain behavior that was associated with another religion, and then that morphed into never mixing milk and meat, just to be sure, and that's why Jews can't have cheeseburgers.
Well, I will say this. Um, the 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 Jewish religion came out of the Canaanite religion,
Mm-hmm.
and the Canaanites worshipped a fuck ton of gods and goddesses, including El and Baal.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not really sure where Yahweh came from, except to say somewhere down south.
You mean from below the waist?
No, no.
I knew
We
you
think
didn't.
maybe Midian, but we're not sure.
Okay. But eventually the Jews destroyed the Midianites, so they had it rough. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
And then God had a wife, Ashara.
yeah, Asherah. Yep.
Asherah was an excellent cook and always supportive of her husband's endeavors.
Well, if you look in the in the Tanakh, you'll find um they the editors tried really hard to erase Asherah, but
She's still in there, though.
yeah, she's still in there. You'll find her.
Yeah, the
Um,
Asherah poles are referenced as being in the temple, and people were upset.
yeah, yeah, the Asherah poles and the Asherah
Yeah,
trees,
right.
and but yeah, she used to be on par with Yahweh. Of course,
Mm,
she was El's wife, and then when El and Baal and Yahweh kind of got intertwined,
mm.
um, then Yahweh kind of appropriated her for his wife. So it's convoluted to say the
Yeah,
least.
yeah, it's like a family drama.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And the 70 sons of El, you know, that's where the 70 nations comes from.
I asked a question of Robert Price, or is it Richard Price, the biblical scholar who is a mythicist.
Uh-huh.
I called into his show, or rather emailed his show, and it was about the Bible, of course, or the Ten Commandments has explicit instructions not to make a graven image of anything living thing in heaven above or on earth below, not anything that flieth, not everything anything that crawleth on the ground.
Okay,
And
but why did God command uh the Israelites to make an ark of the covenant with the cherubim over it then?
exactly. And I asked him this, the commandments come down and you're not supposed to make a graven image. And then God instructs them to make the Ark of the Covenant that's got graven images on it. And he just said editorial error. And I was flabbergasted by that, but it does make sense,
Sounds about right.
you know.
I have to head off because I have to take care of something with my truck, but
Take
I had
care,
a
Richard.
battery freezing
Or
problem.
Randolph.
So
Sorry.
Okay, tell your truck I said hi.
will do.
Take care,
Truck will be
Randolph.
glad to hear from the zebra.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Take care, everyone.
take care now.
Good
Bye-bye.
to see you, David. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Hey, Perps, you want to come in? You can come in.
Oh, little dead air here. What's going on?
I don't know.
I don't know. You guys
I
have
was thinking purple
subjects.
might come in, but maybe he's um, busy finding a word that rhymes with purple.
Yeah.
Which I should would supple do? Supple purple, oh, supple.
uh, Robert, that joke is going to be lost on the millennials.
Yes. What's the joke? It just says that's a floppy drive. I know I'm familiar with the floppy drive joke, but
Oh, it's just when floppy disks used to be floppy. Of
mm-hmm,
course, we don't have any such thing as a floppy disk anymore. Not even the 3.5. You know,
mm.
but floppy disks used to be floppy.
Yes, I remember. They used to be a lot larger too. The first one
Yeah,
that I saw was 5.25 inches, and then
right,
they
right,
were reduced to 3.5.
right. And now you're hard pressed to find even a 3.5.
Pixie says, I am a millennial and I remember floppy drives. I thought millennials were rather young. What's the age range of a millennial?
Pixie, what's the age range of a millennial?
I thought it was people born after the millennium, but I could be wrong. The first floppies were 8 inches. Well, won't women be delighted to hear that?
Sounds like a good dick size.
I
I'm
think
sorry
so.
about the dick jokes.
Well, Bob Saget passed, and we honor him with all the dick jokes we can muster.
Oh, okay.
1981. Why would it start then?
Yeah,
Seems
why
off
would it
the date.
start then? That
Oh,
that
because you would just become an adult as the new millennium came about?
who knows?
Mm.
So
Oh,
how, Lisa?
Pixie has it.
How are you doing? Are you're still friendly with Snake? Snake is right,
Yeah.
Lisa? Yeah. He's got a debate tonight, I guess, on modern day debates. He's advertising that. I don't know if
Oh,
you knew.
cool.
Yeah.
Who is having a
It's
debate? Can you repeat that, David?
Snake is right. It's on modern day debates
Okay.
tonight.
Did
It's one of those dumb ones. It's the flat earther with Nathan
oh,
Nathan
I thought he
Thompson.
was going to be slamming Kent again.
No,
Mm.
it's another flat earth debate. So I don't know.
Oh,
But it's a
I
2 on.
really,
Yeah.
flat Earth, young Earth is about as dumb as I can take.
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
can't take
really
flat Earth.
they've done a lot. I mean, modern day debate has done a ton of those. I don't know if they're like advertising. I think he's going to stop. I thought I heard that like this. I think this might be like the big finale. I think they're doing or something tonight.
Mm.
This debate, and
Hmm.
I think I don't know if he's going to stop. I believe he's going to stop doing those on modern day debate because it's just getting worn out. I think. I believe
Happy
so.
New Year, O.
Look who's
How's it
here.
going?
Antangelo is here.
How's it going? Did you
Hello.
did you did you start off your new year with a gin and tonic, Otangelo?
Yeah, you should. That's for sure.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Antonio, we're saying terrible things about you. No wonder you came in. Actually, we weren't. We sort of
No,
wanted to know what happened to you. Yeah.
actually, Zebra, you say his name 3 times and he comes.
Yeah,
So,
that's usually how. Yeah, people make that joke about it. Yeah,
Hmm.
you just say his name 3 times, he comes. Yeah, that is a joke, and it does. I mean, like I was talking about earlier, he does make the rounds. He's on a lot of channels, and he visits a lot of places. So it's not unusual for him to be around somewhere.
yeah.
You know?
Well, right now, Tangela, I got the shingles, but other than that, I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
You gonna invite him
Shingles
in?
doesn't rhyme with purple either.
You gonna invite
No.
Tangelo in or no?
Hey, Atlarky. I don't think he wants to come in. Hey, oh, did you want to come in? All right. So we've got Atlarky, Sean Gower, right? That's the other name you go by, Atlarky, Sean Gower.
And
Uh,
Tangelo said he wanted to come in, so
uh, all right, Otangelo.
yeah.
No shadow turn shit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wore out my Shroud of Turin, and I got to get another one.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was something like that. Forgive me, Atlarky. Come on in, Otangelo.
Oh, now we can. Yeah, now we can start talking religion on Tangelo.
Otangelo says your device isn't connected. Okay, now it is. How you doing? How was your new year?
Yeah, great. And you?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
dad has shingles too, and it's very painful.
yeah.
Yeah, it can
He
be.
has
Yep.
he has in the ears and eyes,
Oh,
and
Oh,
yeah,
he's
yeah. When you,
suffering a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
Mm.
and he's 86, so I'm very concerned about that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They do. They
yeah. I
do
mean,
have
that's
a.
a pretty
They. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lisa. Go ahead.
that's a pretty pick uh rat rat ass age to have it at too. I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
do. They got a vaccine or a vaccine for that, right? That a lot of people
yeah,
take it
but I'm
if
a
you're
I
susceptible to it. Like some people get it over and over, like multiple times.
Ouch.
So they have like a vaccine that you can get every year, so you don't get it now. That's fairly new.
yeah, but see the thing is I'm pretty young for it. I'm 44.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um which means I'm just on the cusp.
yeah.
So I haven't gotten the vaccine yet.
Mm. But you
But
have two cats, so you might get toxoplasmosis.
well, I only had the chicken pox once,
Mm-hmm.
and I know people who've had that who've had chicken pox multiple times. So hopefully I'll
Ouch.
only be
Well,
doing the shingles
that's what the
once.
shingles. That's what shingles is the
Chickenpox.
remnants virus of chickenpox.
Yeah,
Is what
it's
it
the
is. Yeah,
same virus.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess most people that get it, I guess, is usually they have a low immune system, or they're suffering from that at the time when you get it. So it is a little bit of a concern, because of the fact that you know, your immune system is basically compromised. Usually, people, I don't know, there's all different reasons why people's immune system would be compromised, but that's usually why you end up getting it. So it is kind of dangerous because then it makes you susceptible to other things. You can get pneumonia or things like that when your immune system is weakened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a funny thing, or not funny thing, but I have a son. He's in his 30s now, but he has actually had shingles multiple times, and he's only in his 30s now. He
Ouch.
he had it multiple times in his early 20s, I think. Yeah, it was kind of strange. It was really a weird thing because usually young people don't get it. You know,
Mhm.
it's usually an old, but for some reason, a lot of people are getting that, and I don't know why. Like it seems to be almost like a common thing now, and that's why they got that. Uh, the vaccine, I guess, that you can get every year, and a lot
Yeah.
of
Oh,
a lot of elderly get it. Yeah.
Mm.
Atlarky, I didn't mean to block you, buddy. Oh shit! How do I unblock Atlarky?
Um, did you actually block him or just time him out?
No, I blocked him because I was trying to block a bot.
Ouch. I don't know how to unblock someone. This came up earlier, and I think you just have to do a search in YouTube help, and it might tell you how.
Yeah,
On the other hand, did you like Atlarky at all? Because
it's in your
Yeah,
account. Yeah, it would be in your main account for your home for your page or something. I think. I don't know.
yeah, Atlarky's cool.
Yeah.
There was
okie
just a
dokie.
bot, and
Yeah, you went to do it and you clicked on the wrong one or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
By the
happens.
way, mods, please be on the lookout for bots.
What?
Mm.
So, Angelo, you don't have much to say. What is happening?
Not
I
much. What about you?
yeah, the same. Just kind of hanging out. There hasn't really been anything really exciting going on so much. Little bit of drama back
So,
and
do you
forth
live in
with,
the US or where do you live?
where do I live?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in the U.S. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the northeastern part of the U.S.
Northeastern, that is kind of
Yeah,
Boston or something like that.
yeah, in that area.
Oh, okay. I've been once in Boston.
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't have much going on. We don't migrate till the spring, so the herd is pretty quiet.
yeah.
Okay, Atlarky, you should be unblocked now. Try typing something in. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. So on Tangela, yeah, I don't know if I should even bring it up, but I don't know. For some reason, I missed it. I think I was even there over at Speech Channel, and he got upset at something you did, and you don't even know what it is. And to be honest, I
No, I
don't
know.
either. I
No, I
don't
know.
either. I
And
mean,
no, I know what it is. They are still bringing up
oh, you
that
do?
thing with Arden of Eden 3 months ago, where I put a picture of her pre-transition
Right,
at
right.
my
Yeah, I know
Facebook.
all about that. But what
Yeah,
was
so
Speed?
so yeah, so Speed is
Speed was
saying that
still
because
upset
of
over it.
that, and I told him that I apologized to her at her Twitter account. Anyone can go and look it up. I did that, so I don't know why he
But
is saying that.
I think he's upset over something else. I don't know, and I
No,
don't
he
even know
told
what it is. I'll have to.
no, he
Is that
told
what
me
it
that.
is?
No, I
Oh,
thought it was a comment that I made in the comment section of one of the streams, and he said no,
yeah,
it's because I supposedly still I am kind of um, radioactive, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
shouldn't be on because of that. And I mean,
yeah.
uh, yeah,
Hello.
I don't know, Aunt Angela. Okay, my opinion about this whole drama thing that you've been going through. It does sadden me because I know if we go way back, I mean, you were very well respected and people enjoyed, you coming on, and there was many great conversations. And it saddens me to see for you to have this type of trouble, you know. And I would
Mm.
love to see you go back to your old self because, I don't know. I think
I've never changed, David.
no,
I've never
well, I mean,
changed. No.
maybe you feel that way, but I think that the group, like I said, it's up to you on who you like to hang out with and who you like to associate with. That's certainly your right, and I have no right to say really anything about it, but I think that the group that you were hanging out with just had some influence on you, honestly. And they're Christian brothers of yours, right? They are
yeah, but
truly Christian brothers, or at least you consider
yeah,
that.
but the
So
thing is that I'm actually not hanging around with these people anymore. You won't see
yeah,
me.
yeah,
You will hardly see me. Maybe once
yeah,
a month or so
yeah.
now.
I see. I noticed that. I mean, I'm not. I don't frequent
I
that
mean, I mean
very
that
easily.
what happened there, that was an influence of that group.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just that's my
After,
opinion.
yeah,
I think those
I
people are
didn't
just
want to. I
they're
don't
not.
think I had the obligation to
Yeah,
give more than what I actually did, and I know that people were upset
yeah,
about that. They felt they had the right that I would simply tell everything what happened, and I
yeah.
wasn't willing to do that, and I thought it is my
Well,
right.
yeah. I
I
mean, I
think
think people are kind of letting up on it, but I think it's all about how you behave now in moving forward in the future. I mean, I think people are starting to settle down and just kind of say, okay, that's it's in the past. You've made your apology and you've made it clear that that's what you're willing to do, and that's it. And hopefully you can work your way back. But it's all about how you behave now and how you behave in the future, and that's truly what I think is going to make or break you. So
well, David,
I
I
don't know.
think doesn't only depend on me, and I am not just sugar and love. And if people attack me, then I will react accordingly.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No, you have
and
that right. Absolutely, I
and
don't disagree with that. Yeah,
and I mean there were some people which outright lied about me, and I reacted to that because I was upset about it.
yeah, yeah. I
Because
mean,
I,
you
Angela,
I
certainly
felt
what's wrong with your mic? I hear static.
you certainly take your licks. That's for sure, Antangelo. You definitely uh, receive some. I don't know what the right
Bye,
word would
zebra.
be.
Bye bye.
So,
Bye,
yeah,
zebra.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Uh-huh.
I,
but yep. See ya.
So
Yeah.
what's
So
up,
I mean,
Midnight?
Oh,
hopefully
nothing
everything will
much.
work out.
Yep. Would you mind? You know what? I try to make trying to make this claustrophobia work. But how you doing, Lisa?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. And they got a bit brighter with you.
Yeah. Always
Oh,
funny.
Midnight. Yeah, You, you know I love you, dude. I mean, come on.
Yes. I mean, if you love me, you'll definitely switch to the other layout. You
What
know,
other layout?
the one less claustrophobic
Why this
I
is
don't know
small
which
for you?
one you mean.
I think he wants you to make the things bigger. Is that what you want, Midnight?
or smaller. You know, like at the bottom, you should see like a few layouts.
I don't know. I don't know what your screen is. It just looks normal to me. What I'm looking at, the StreamYard. Are you on a phone? Like no, yeah. See,
Like
that's the only
that?
like that.
No,
I think there's different. Yeah, there's different settings you can put on. I don't know what he likes, but I don't know.
there we go.
So like that. Why is that? That makes a difference for you?
Yes, the other one
Oh,
just
that's
seems so fucking claustrophobic.
and
You know what
that's
I mean? Too close.
that's because of your vision, I assume, right? It bothers you.
No, I don't know. It's not the vision thing. I don't know. It's
No,
just
no.
Okay.
it's probably an autism thing. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
It's okay.
whatever. Yep, whatever. Whatever makes you comfortable. We're all here to make you comfortable at night.
Unless you're
All hail midnight.
All right, let's come up with a good subject. Antangelo, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I just got here an email from Speed. Don't be aggressive here. I have tried to work with you on this issue, trying to save you some trouble. This has nothing to do with me. The feeling in the community is that you are untouchable. Now you need to fix that yourself, and I will be glad to have you back. So
Yeah,
I really feel I'm sorry, but I really feel that Speed hasn't any personality here. I mean,
yeah,
he cannot take any decision for himself. He has to see what others say, and then based on what the others say, he takes a decision. Come on.
yeah. You think he's using the community to make his decisions? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, that's what he is saying here.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So he
I
has
think
no
that
own.
when it
So
comes
he
to
has. So he
yeah,
has no own personality to make a judgment on things and then say, "Hey, I see
no,
it like this, and I don't care what others
no,
say."
no. I think what he's trying to say there, Antangelo, is he runs, he runs a YouTube channel, right? So his YouTube channel itself, uh, you know, demands a respect for, uh, i- for the within the community, right? So, if the community uh, is really shunning you, you might say, the community shunning you, then there's an issue there, right? So, in I think that that's kind of what he goes by. He's trying to make a judgment on what you're talking about with his own channel, okay, and his reputation. If you're causing problems throughout the community and you come into his channel and you're aggressive and cause get people upset on his channel, then he just doesn't want that, right? So I think
Well,
that's
I'm
kind
a
of
good
what
boy, so
I think
Well,
that's kind of what he's trying to say.
David, I am sorry, but I think
So
you
yeah, go
are.
ahead.
I mean, you are a frequent visitor. You're always there, so of course, I understand that you take um,
Yeah.
his position, but I simply disagree with you. I think
I
people
don't
should
think
have
he's
some.
No, I
taking his
I
don't.
think,
I'm
position.
not.
people
I'm
should
not.
have some kind of
Yes.
own personality, and if I am appearing there, then hey, make up your mind, and based on what you think is right, act upon that, and don't
Yeah.
just simply look
Yeah.
what others say and then be a sheep.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is kind of ironic coming from you to where your entire identity, young Earth, and intelligent design. David, David is not, is not, is not picking, is not agreeing with speed. Okay,
Right. I'm
all.
right.
Go
Exactly.
ahead.
Midnight. Yes. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You continue. I'm just saying. I agree with you. You're absolutely
Okay.
right. Go ahead, Midnight. Continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
As I said, David is not
Yeah.
agreeing with speed. He's simply saying, that speed, speed has a reputation to uphold, or at least the way he sees it. You know what I mean,
That's right. Exactly.
Otangelo?
That's what I meant. Exactly. It's I mean,
Wow.
like I said, he
Wow. The
doesn't.
albino gets
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess the albino is not so
his
stupid.
reputation is
Yes.
basically to be a sheep and simply to follow what others say, rather than make up his own mind and to say, "I see it like this, and I will act upon what I think is right."
Hey,
Well.
Otangelo,
welcome to the
Yeah.
psychology of humans.
Yeah.
Otangelo, that's called projection, you know.
Yeah, I called him out on it, Lisa.
You're projecting
I am
there.
not. Do you know why, Lisa? Because you don't see many young Earth creationists going to atheist streams and defend their position. And atheist and speed is one of them complains about that. So I am actually a contrast, in my opinion, and I hold strong beliefs for what I believe is true, in contrast to what most of those that I interact with believe. So
You do okay. No, no, no,
I
no, no.
am not simply
Otangelo,
listening
stop,
to what atheists say and then believe
stop,
blindly.
Yeah.
stop. Give me the chapter and the verse of the Bible that says the Earth is 6,000 years old. I want the chapter and the verse.
Okay, Lisa, first of all, I don't hold the belief that the Earth is 6,000 years old. Okay? And secondly, that has nothing to do with what we are actually discussing right now.
No,
Okay, but you did say you were young.
You're saying that somebody is letting other people do their thinking for them. That is exactly what you do when you talk about the young Earth. And when you talk about the Shroud of Turin, don't bring that up. By the way,
Did I bring it up?
don't
You
bring
brought it up right now.
Right. Yeah. That's
yeah,
fine.
but that's as far as it goes.
So the point is, though, Antangelo, now she just asked you for a verse, right? And I mean, you're saying you're young Earth, so it gets confusing for us, right? I mean, you just said, you were young Earth. You just
You are
said that.
moving
Then you
goalposts
go in.
because Lisa, she accused me of doing what I am accusing Speed of doing. And I am defending myself in regards of that and saying that even if I am constantly in contact with atheists, actually for decades already, and they hold different views that I do, but I have formed my own views, I have my own belief based on what I have investigated, based on the evidence, and took my conclusions, and I defend that.
Right.
And I do that also in regards of people and people's behavior. So I am not recently making streams on my YouTube channel, but if I hear a rumor about a certain person, then rather than just following what others do, I prefer to actually look what's going on and then make up a decision about that person.
Okay.
Then we'll decide if that person comes to my stream or not.
Would you like me to help you out? You want me to help you out? Now, I've done this already once before. We had a long discussion, but I can help you out in this, or at least in my opinion, in this situation. Okay, I mean, when you come in and you defend your young Earth, I mean, truly, in my opinion, and probably a lot of people would agree, is when you defend your young Earth, you defend it as though a lot of the material that you present, I have no doubt in whatsoever that it is convincing to you. I have no doubt. You make that very clear. But when you present it, you're presenting it as though these things are facts, and that that basically other people should look at the facts and come to your conclusion, and that's kind of how you present it. Okay, so in my opinion, if you don't present these things as facts, and I've given you this advice before, when you have these conversations, I know it would be, it may actually be a conversation breaker, as you would call it. But when you're discussing these things, you say, you present your facts, and you say these things, or this evidence is convincing to me. But that's not how you present it. You present it as though they are facts, and people disagree with you. So I think that that's where you come into conflict with these conversations, as though you try to present those things as facts, and people are just like, no, it's not facts. We disagree with what you're presenting. I understand that it's convincing, and I always say that. I say, if you just use that phrase, hey, I have this and this, and this is convincing to me, I think people would be a little more receptive to you. But that's not how you go and present it.
I think you're doing a lot of confusion here, David. First of all, facts are facts, and facts are disputed. And what we are constantly discussing is the philosophical inference of the facts. That's the first point. And secondly, I don't actually like to talk with atheists about young Earth creationism, because this is even more difficult to defend than another topic, which I think is far more important, and that is the quest if God exists or not. I prefer to discuss that. And if someone becomes a believer and thinks that a creator, an intelligence at the beginning is necessary, then I am okay with that person to come to the next round and question which God, why the Christian God, and why do you believe in young earth creationism and so forth. And I don't present young earth creationism as a fact. That's simply not true. Young earth creationism is a view that I hold for not only scientific but also theological reasons, because I take the Bible as authority, and I don't present young earth creationism as a fact. That's simply not
Well,
true,
I would
David.
I would have to agree with you that most young Earth creationists don't want to come in and defend that. They always, even though they hold that position, they avoid that like the plague. That's not what they want to talk about. And like you said, you just admitted it, that it's an extremely difficult position to defend. And that's because
No, it's not.
there's
It's not necessary.
overwhelming
No, I
evidence.
disagree. It's not that it is
You
difficult to
just said
defend
that.
because,
Didn't you
well,
just say
well.
that?
So yes. So let me
That-
clarify. To me,
Okay.
effectively, it is not difficult to defend it or to give the reasons why I believe that there is also scientific evidence that leads to that conclusion. But we know that there is a massive opposition, not only from the atheists, but also even from older creationists and atheistic evolutionists. So we are actually defending a viewpoint which is disputed not only amongst atheists, but also Christians. So,
Yeah, okay,
um,
but
Right. Yep.
Tangelo, if you're defending your position against that many people, why don't you just come out and say, you know, this is just what I think?
but I do
I
that,
mean,
That's
Lisa.
that's
That's what I
what?
basically what
do.
I was saying. That's exactly
That's
what
what
my
I
whole
do.
point is. What I was just saying. If you
I
come,
don't. I don't
if you
present
come
them as
out,
Okay, okay,
true.
can I just like take a little second here?
sure, go right ahead.
Archangelo,
Jump in.
you've been sort of good, but you know where you stand with everyone. And so just because I wish you a happy new year doesn't mean that you get a free license to be stupid again, okay? Can I just be blunt about this?
Well, if you
No
accuse me
Well,
worries.
to be
that's
stupid,
yeah.
then I say
That's not
back it
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
What?
yeah, Cryptomaria, but you're on my channel, so you've got license to do that.
It just, everyone has shunned you, and we're here like, hey, but you're still saying the same weird stuff. And
What rude stuff?
Well,
I said weird. I didn't
they,
say rude. I
yeah,
didn't.
Oh,
you're
weird
Yeah.
saying
stuff.
weird.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, weird
You're
stuff. Okay.
okay. Get a
but
new script, okay, bunny?
Yeah. So because it sounds weird to you, you call me stupid.
I said no. That all of this theist stuff is. It just. I go through videos, and for like the past 6 years, people have been saying the same things. It's so boring sometimes. Everyone thinks they're so important, but really it's so boring. It's like everyone's
Well,
arguing,
is
but
someone
nothing has
obliging you
changed.
to is
You
someone
say you
obliging you to
haven't
follow
changed.
these
No, no.
debates?
Okay, I will listen. You go ahead.
Well, if it's boring to you, why don't you tune in somewhere else where the topic is interesting for you?
Oh, because you own God? Oh, only you have the opinion of a theist on God. So I like looking at seeing what's out in the world and being on live channels and talking to people. But when I keep encountering the same debate, the same dead horse, people like you keep beating to the pulp. It's boring, and nobody can fault me for saying that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a Tangelo. To be fair, you have the same talking points over and over and over and over again.
so on Tangelo, can I give you some more advice? You probably don't really give a shit about it. But my my advice to you, okay? I mean, I know you've been defending your position and going on these channels for a long, long time, and you have your what you would call your tactics or your way of doing that. And in my opinion, I think people are very unreceptive when it comes to your tactic on you know quote minding. Okay, you do that, and that's the way you do it. I think, and in my opinion, if you go on these channels and have conversations, excuse me, I have a child here that's interrupting me. But
No worries. No worries.
my opinion would be is if you just discuss these topics and use your own voice, use your own opinion, discuss it in your own mind, I guess you might say. Instead of pulling up your blog and just basically copying and pasting and quote minding, if you just have the conversations and answer questions, you know in your own words, I think that people, would be so much more receptive. And I don't know
So
if you're
you would
capable of
become
doing
so
that.
you would become a theist if I would everything which I convey
That's not what he said.
fashion in my own words. Well, he said that he would be more receptive. So what does
More
that mean,
receptive to
David?
having conversations, more receptive to you as a person, and to you, because it's basically you're just quote mining. So it's like talking to a computer or a robot, or it's like
Beep boop
people,
beep beep
you know.
boop.
So I think that if you just use your own words and have discussions, that's what people do on here. People don't quote mine. It's like talking to a robot, and like
Just be
Cryptomania was
yourself,
just saying,
Archangela.
all those
Like,
right.
we like you. We
Exactly.
actually like you as a
There you
person,
go. That's a good
but
point.
you
Just
keep
be
going
you.
into these debates and you keep
Be
going into
you.
these debates and you never are yourself. And then all of a sudden, I'm not myself. Everyone's on edge. And this is like the first real conversation I've had with you. And I've genuinely enjoyed talking to you, even if you're still in your same mode of mind.
Okay, David, I will consider what you
Right.
said. Okay?
I think Cryptomania, she was making the absolute same point is people want to talk to you as a person, because if you use your own words and discuss topics with people, this is personal, right? This what we're doing here, and they want to talk to you, not your blog. So I think that would help
Yeah,
you an awful lot,
I
right?
do it less when I am in a live chat, but I use this tool
Right.
more
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I am in an informal debate with
I know.
someone.
I know it's
No,
difficult. I
but
understand it would be
Angelo, you still quote mine when
right.
you're in chats. That's what
Yeah.
we cannot stand. We
Right.
cannot stand the quote
Right.
mines.
People want to talk to you. They want to hear your opinions, and not the opinions that you've copied and paste, right? I
Yeah,
mean, I
okay,
think
I got it,
that's
David.
I think that's a big issue, and I think
Okay.
I don't know, and I understand why, because the information that you have, it's just near impossible to keep that all in your head, and I know all that stuff. It's very convincing to you, so you want to present all the things, but it's like impossible for you to keep all that stuff in your head and be able to regurgitate it in your own words, right? It's like near
Unless you have a
impossible. So
super brain.
right, so I get that. I understand. I get it. I get that part. But like I said, I think just people don't want to. People don't want to listen to it. I think it would help you a lot to just have conversations and be you, and present what's convincing to you, and that's it. Like I've always given you that advice where when you have
You
these
gotta have
conversations, you just
confidence.
say, yeah, you got to have confidence in yourself and what you believe, be comfortable in what you believe, and say, hey, you know what, this is convincing to me. You know what, if you don't agree, then oh well, but this is what I enjoy to do. I enjoy reading the Bible, and the Bible is an authority to me, like you just said, right? So, I'm just advice on Tangelo. I think you would do a lot better, and maybe it would make you it would make you happier because you would be able to have, better
Oh,
discussions on here. I don't know. I don't know.
I do
It's
have a.
just advice. That's all. I mean, it's just my opinion. So you can take it or leave it. Obviously, right? It's only my opinion. So
Your opinion doesn't matter.
right, right, exactly. I mean, hey, if that's what he has absolutely. What
Yeah, let me address what I
I'm just
think
a person.
Atlarki said. Well, it is true that when I start the conversation with atheists, usually I use the cumulative argument approach because most atheists they come from a Christian background. They know the Bible and argue about something that they know already. Um, I think it is precisely what you guys are criticizing. So we are bringing up again the message of the cross and so forth. I think everybody knows that already. So when we are discussing about these topics, then and the atheists demand, well, what evidence do you have? Then I use that approach of evidence
The
in the
audio
natural world.
sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was just getting staticky.
Yeah, you may have your setting maybe you got to do the echo setting. It may be off. If you go into that setting and put the echo thing on, that I think that usually helps. But
I removed
I don't
it.
know
I
if
don't
that's
know
it or
if it's,
not.
yeah, I removed the echo cancellation, so I don't know if that helps. Maybe now it's better. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, now I'm getting a little back feed, a little bit, but you're all
So,
right again.
Crypto Media, I have a quick question for you before we go back to that. What do you think of the changes Walhart made? Okay, awkward silence. I guess you stepped away.
Yeah, sometimes she does. Yeah, she's been doing that. So
All right, continue with what you were
anyway,
doing.
yeah. Well, I guess we have Scott in the chat, and he was listening in, and he thought it was sound advice and sincere, and I agree with that. Antangelo, I wish you the best. I think.
You are a wise
Uh,
man, David.
oh, thank you very much.
No, I think
Yeah,
sincere advice is always welcome, and I welcome
yeah. That's
your
all.
criticism. I think it is positive, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
accept it
I
also.
am exactly. I'm just trying to give you positive, sincere
Yeah, and
opinion,
we are trying
and
to
that's
give
it.
you positive feedback, you
Right,
know.
right. That's kind of yeah, exactly. It's just positive feedback, and in my opinion, it would help you along because you certainly you're a well known person. You're certainly a person that's known throughout the community far exceeds me, right? I mean, nobody. Who the hell am I? I'm just a shit bum on a few channels, right? I don't compared to you
Don't
know
sell yourself short, buddy.
you being a person that's been within the community and has been around, it's been around the block, as you might say, and so like I said, I hate to see any issues. I hope they clear up for you and you continue on because if you go back a year, uh, it was quite different. You were very really
Sorry.
well liked within the community and respected, and people enjoyed conversations with you, and I'd like to see that return. I know there's been some damage done, and I think those things can be repaired. I think they slowly are already. They're on the upswing, as you might say, right now,
And
right? So
yeah, I totally agree.
yeah,
And
so
shit
hopefully,
happens. Sorry, pardon my
yeah,
language, but
yeah. That's a good point. Exactly, shit
So,
happens, and
Crypto, I did ask you a question, but what do you think? What do you think of Wild Heart's new changes?
I am very proud of him, and I keep being proud of him. I see a difference, and the more support we give him, the better he is. The more
Yeah,
support we
exactly.
give each other, the better everyone
Yeah,
is. And
there
I
you
feel
go.
like we've been kind of into this fight club mode instead of
Yeah,
being supportive.
Well,
Richard
yeah.
called me out on it. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I was a bitch. I'm sorry.
yeah,
And I was telling people this about Wild Heart. When somebody's in a situation like that, they aren't going to get better by quote unquote tough love. I mean, that's just not going to happen. You know,
I
they're
mean,
they're going to
people tried both approaches, but nothing worked.
they're going to
But
be
he is
much more
doing good
receptive.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
he's
doing
going to
so
be.
good.
They're they're going to be much more receptive to support. You know, now, if I were a substance abuse counselor, I would have a different approach. But I'm not a substance abuse counselor. And so
It's such a different culture than us, Lisa. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's not something. It's taken me maybe a month to really understand.
How is he doing? Midnight now. He was sober for a while, and is
He's
he
still
still
sober for a
still?
while. He
Oh,
just
good,
when he's not
good for
streaming,
him.
he sleeps all day, small steps at a time,
But
I
that's
guess.
what you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to do when you're getting sober. So just
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
give him a
yeah,
break.
yeah. Oh,
He's doing awesome.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying that's what he
Yeah,
does.
yeah. I know. I mean, Speed. Speed has uh, really voiced some concern and really wanted to help him, and I'm glad to see that. And I'm sure Speed is thrilled that he's sober right now, and that's just
Yep.
fantastic. Given what Speed has gone through himself, so he knows, very well what he's dealing with. So it's a great thing that he's doing better because Speed was definitely concerned. So
Yep.
yeah. So anyway, anything else going on? Tangelo, you want to bring up any subject that we can discuss
Yeah,
and within
totally.
your words, like
Yeah.
you know,
How's your New Year's going? Mine sucks, but hopefully yours is better.
I mean, why does yours suck?
Just all the hours are slow, and then I'm getting this whole tenancy nightmare, and I'm fighting with my family. So it's sort of like a country music song.
oh boy, yeah, yeah,
But hey, happy New Year! As
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at it positively, the tenancy won't go through because I've gone through all the paperwork, and what they're doing to me isn't legal.
Oh, okay.
Well, they actually had to put my legal name if they're going to serve me papers. So we're already off to a
Yeah,
bad start in
yeah.
court.
There you go. Yeah,
Wait,
Yeah.
what are you doing with court? You suing somebody?
Well, just it's like New York here, and older buildings, they kick everyone out so they can renovate it and jack up the rent. And this is going across the city. This is a bigger problem than just my building. And I'm in
oh
a good
yeah, yeah,
place. It's just
yeah,
really annoying having to deal with courts.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it can be. Yeah, absolutely. I get that. That happens everywhere for sure. You know.
Like I was stressed out, but I'm okay. And after
Yeah.
going through everything and talking to tenancy, like if this many people are going through it at the same time as me, it's a problem in the system, and it's also a problem with the property manager because it's his first job and he's not really doing it right. So it's not going to go well for him.
Would
Yeah.
one of my
Oh, yeah,
mods
yeah.
kick off the bot, please? Sorry, guys. Would one
Oh,
of my
it
mods
was
kick off
already
the
done,
bot?
right? Was it done? You gotta make me a mod, Lisa. I'm not a mod on your channel. I feel shunned.
David, what's your username on my
Lar-
channel?
it's Laurie here. Laurie Hayes.
Are you in the chat right now?
I will do something right now for you. There you go. I just said, hey. Yep.
Hey, Tarum. Okay. Got it.
I'm a very good mod. I don't really time people out. It's very rare, or you know, I don't use it unless it's absolutely necessary for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's in agreement with the channel owner, what the channel owner. I follow their rules and their opinions because it's
Yeah.
the way I treat YouTube here is, I come on this channel, it's your channel, and I
Why is
feel
there so many
it's a
deleted messages?
privilege.
Holy shit!
It's a privilege for me to come on here, not a right, and not, so
Thank you.
your
Midnight,
channel is your channel.
Yeah, there's a bot
That's
that keeps spamming. That's why.
wait. The Adlarchy is a
I've
bot.
I've never typed out ox, but I'd love to.
Whatever.
Uh,
Hey,
no, the
I want to be a mod
Atlas-
too. So love. There you go. I'm a mod now. I should be.
Yep. So, on
Hey,
Tangent, let's
Zena.
bring up. What do you think, guys? Let's bring up a good subject on religion, or no? Think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah, I'm always up for
Hey,
that.
hey,
I don't
David,
want to.
David,
I don't want to
David.
turn it in. What?
But no, hold on. Do you want to do you want to bring out that one topic in front of our mind stream once? Huh? Huh?
The topic. Yeah, yeah. I was kind of thinking about that, and I think I know
Do it.
what
Come
you're
on,
talking
do it.
about.
Fire the
You want?
torpedo. Fire
Yeah,
the
yeah,
torpedo.
yeah. All right.
So, Lisa, why don't you make me a mod so I can time out Ox when he becomes obnoxious?
Oh come on,
Oh,
Angelo! You
no,
cheeky
Transport.
little.
Okay. So,
At least you're trying. At least you're trying.
Yeah,
since
yeah,
I
yeah.
modded, since I just modded a bunch of people, please be on the lookout for the bots. I don't want
Yeah.
bots in my chat.
Yeah,
Another thing is,
I want a wrench.
I don't want the N word.
Nice. You don't want to be nice. You don't want.
No,
You don't want nice.
no midnight.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, no N word. And any anything of that nature, like like a what what's that thing when they put down people, like when 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 somebody's gonna put down a homosexual just for being a homosexual, a slur. Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
No
yeah.
Well,
slur.
I can say it because I am that.
Yep.
So but if you want to say
All right.
fuck, go ahead. I say fuck.
I'm gonna fire the torpedo. You ready?
Yes, do it.
Okay. Antangelo, let's talk about heaven. What do you think? Would you like to discuss heaven?
Sure. What
That's
would you
always
like to know?
really a cool. That it can become like a really wild conversation sometimes. I remember a long time, quite a while ago, me, you, and Immutable. I'm pretty sure was there, and I can't remember. It was on Midnight's channel a while back, and we had a little discussion on that, on what heaven was, and what it meant to you. It's so for atheists, right? It's so confusing. It's like what 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 is heaven going to be? Like, and theists can't really even answer the question because it's
I
right.
actually
I mean,
posted on my library precisely about that question, Lori. What will the saved do in heaven?
yeah,
And I can put the link here in the private side chat, and later on you can read about it.
and
Okay.
what is that now? You're gonna. It was on your channel, you said, or
No, in my
I,
library, the
oh,
question
in your library.
precisely
Okay,
which you asked: What will the saved do in heaven?
okay. So that it kind of describes
What the
what
Bible
heaven
says
would
that,
be.
yeah, it explains what the saved, those which will be in heaven eternally, what they will
Yeah, yeah,
do there, right?
yeah.
So I investigated
Can you
that a little
kind of
bit.
give me a little bit of what it says? I mean, maybe just a little bit of it, like
Well, I
what?
mean, I think that first of all, the Bible is clear saying that we just can have a very nebulous idea, very vague idea about what heaven will be, but what no eye and no ear has ever seen or heard, that is prepared for those that love God, that will go
Yeah,
to heaven.
yeah,
So it will be a very beautiful place. It will be,
yeah.
our senses will be expanded. We will have a much better perception of reality of our
Be,
surroundings. Probably our
being in
intelligence will be.
peace, right? Kind of
But
being in
I don't
peace, and
want to live forever. Who wants to live forever?
Well,
yeah,
before
that's
that you say that, Lisa, I
Ooh,
think,
me,
do you
me,
do you
me, me.
well,
Just not in
first of
heaven.
all, I think we all enjoy. I mean, at least I enjoy life, even if it is sometimes hard or difficult, or if we go
yeah,
through
yeah.
through pain.
Well,
But living is. I mean, nobody of. I mean, if it wouldn't be good to live, then we would just suicide ourselves, right?
right. So
So
yeah, you got to think it in those
But
terms,
if
Lisa.
things
Right? You don't.
if
Oh,
things
sorry.
are in abundance, Otangelo, they don't have any value. That's why
Yeah,
diamonds
I
are
disagree
valuable
with
and
that.
sand isn't.
Yeah.
When it comes to life, I disagree with that. Anything, anything like,
Okay.
anything diamonds, money, yeah, that. But
Right.
life,
Right.
no, I don't
Right.
agree with
Life.
that.
Right. So like Angelo was saying, right? Okay, you don't. I mean, you certainly don't want to commit suicide now, right? And you have no desire to die now, right? So, oh, we would at least hope so, and we would at least hope that you're enjoying life now. So it would be if you try to think along those terms, as though if you were in heaven and you're treating it just like you are now living, you have no desire to end it, right?
right. So
So,
if life in heaven is much better than it is
and
here,
right, then it would
how
even be
much more
better,
than
right?
would how much? Yes, the Bible says that
More
it
would
will
you
be.
want to continue, right? In
Then
other
of
words, you
course,
want to, right,
why would you want not to live forever if life in heaven is perfect, without pain, without
right,
harm,
right,
without uh, evil? If it is
yeah,
just perfect life, and
Because
the quality
because
is much
I
higher
would
than
get
here.
bored. Because I would get bored, Otangelo.
Well, that's
It's
just
well,
what
not
you
he
think
about
that,
judges.
it,
Well,
it's it's
you don't know. You probably will
it's
not
not
know
about
everything. Listen,
it's
listen,
not
Lisa.
about
right?
Probably you
Otangelo.
will
It's
not
not
know
about
immediately
quality
Okay,
of
one at a
everything.
life at
time.
that.
One at a time. Jesus.
Yeah,
So,
It's
Lisa,
not
I
about
don't.
quality of
Well,
life at that point, Otangelo.
okay, listen, Lisa. I don't think that life in heaven will be boring. Why? Because we will
right,
not simply know everything immediately as we arrive in heaven. I believe that there will be an
but
evolution in regards of knowledge, in regards of doing things. I mean, the Bible says that we will even judge demons and angels and things like that. So God will
yeah,
give us
yeah,
tasks to do, and I think heaven is also a place which will evolve, which will not be static, and which will be exciting. So I think you have some prejudice here.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
on
if
what
you
do you base that,
well,
Otangelo?
On
base
the
it,
I mean,
Bible?
Lisa.
I
Listen,
don't
okay,
even.
All right,
I
basic.
don't
Listen,
even recognize the Bible as a legitimate source. But even
right.
if we use the Bible's not saying any of that.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah, that's why I'm an atheist.
Yeah, that's. But
That's not
okay,
the point.
back to the. Let's go back to you were saying you would be bored. Okay, now you also got to put it in the perspective of what are you right now? I mean, yes, you do get bored here and there, or within your life right now, right? But that still doesn't make you desire to end it, right? It shouldn't. You still want to continue now. So why,
Because
forget
I have
forget the
more
part,
to learn.
right? But well, okay, there you
At some
go.
point, if you have eternity, at
Yep.
some point there is going to be a point where you're not going to be able to learn anything more because you're going
That's
to
not
know it
How do
all.
true.
you know
What
that?
do you do at that
How do you
point?
know
You
that? How
don't.
do you
Yeah,
know
you don't
that?
know that. Life in heaven could not necessarily be that way. Life in heaven could be just like it is here.
I love
You
how David is
continue,
literally
you
being a devil's
continue,
advocate
you continue
Uh,
or a God's
on,
advocate.
right? You continue on as though you are now. You do not have a
okay.
desire right now to end it. So you
So
keep,
Krishna
you
is
would
a
say that.
Hindu. Let him weigh in on this issue.
Okay, sure.
The exact question is what now?
How did you like my defense of your heaven on Tangela?
I thank you kindly, my friend.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I would have
We're
just,
talking about heaven,
yeah.
and
I
I'm
I
think
would
saying
that,
I
have
don't
put it.
want to live forever.
well, I think heaven and hell are descriptions of moments in our lifetime on both sides of the fence. I don't think it's an afterlife kind of thing. I think afterlife is tomorrow after we wake up from sleep. I take a very psychology oriented approach to religion and spirituality, which is kind of unique, but it makes sense for me. So it could be argued that I'm a believer, and it could be argued that I'm an atheist. So I don't know if that helps
Tangelo,
or hurt.
address the question on the screen. I must have missed some drama.
Would you like me to address that on Tangelo, or do you want to address it? Oh, maybe he stepped away. Might have had
Yay, good. Just kidding. Good. But Lisa, it's like it's like you want
What?
to have you is anyone ever seen a good place? Actually, you know
Lisa,
what? I'm just gonna
what
mute.
was your question, Lisa?
Yeah, yeah, she was asking if you would address that, and you just did in chat. He addressed
Oh,
it
yeah.
in chat. So yeah,
Yeah, everyone can go to. I mean, it was 3 months ago when this happened. I went to her Twitter account, and I
yeah,
wrote there. It's there. Everyone can go there and see that I publicly apologized and that I was
Okay,
yeah,
sorry for
yeah.
what I
That's see,
okay.
did.
that's the
So
thing. I think a lot of people, yeah, a lot of people are accusing you of not apologizing, but you did. You did it in
yeah,
your way. You're comfortable in the way you did it, and that's the way it is. So
yeah, I had a
Lisa,
personal interaction with Arden on Messenger on Facebook and explained to her what my catch was on that, and that was it. And I apologized to her also on Messenger.
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Lisa, you have a request in the private chat. Thank you.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Atlarky, come on in. I don't see your. Hang on.
Well, let me address what he said that Christianity is a death cult. No, I completely disagree with that. I disagree with that. Christianity is starts with God, which is eternal life. He is always alive, and He created us. And when we die, we will be eternally with God. And atheism is exactly the contrary, where it starts with a dead universe, where we somehow, in between, are living beings which live in that universe, and then when
I
we
mean,
die,
that's kind of a
it's
straw man,
over.
honestly. Because because the universe was never dead or alive. Something has to be alive for it to be dead.
No,
So
but
that's a
it
straw man there.
produced life. It produced life. It started with uh, with
Yeah,
no
but it
life, and then
but just
supposedly
because
somehow it started to create life on Earth. Then there is a period where life will flourish on Earth, and then in the future the universe will be dead again, and we will all be dead too. So it starts with death and it ends with death.
no,
And
no, it doesn't.
Christianity
It
No,
doesn't.
starts
it doesn't,
with
Coach
life and
Angelo.
ends with eternal life.
Uh, Never mind. Go
Right.
on.
All right. That's the way he, that's his belief, and so you guys got to defend. You're saying no, it doesn't. So defend that, right?
Oh,
Sorry,
hello.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
No,
Oh, wow,
Angelo,
everybody's in here.
it does
No,
not
I'm
start with
listening.
death.
I'm sort of here, not here.
It
You can
does
turn
not
on
start with
or
death
turn
and
off your
end with
microphone.
death.
Okay.
That
So
is a
how do you
straw
look at it then,
man.
Lisa? How do you look at it? What's okay? You say it doesn't start with death in it. So how is it then?
Well, our lives end with death, of course, but
Right.
everybody's gonna die. You
Right.
know, I mean
And
that's nothing
that's what
new. That's
Antangelo's
nothing
saying. That's
special.
what Antangelo's saying. That's what he's saying. Everybody dies.
So
So
And I am
eventually,
saying, as a Christian, I say
our
that
planet will die.
our physical death here on Earth is just a transition to eternal life. So, in my worldview, everything starts with an eternal God, which is life, which has eternal life, which says, "I am." He exists. He's alive, and it ends with eternal life of His creatures, those which want to be with Him. So it starts and ends with life, and atheism is the contrary.
Tangelo, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Okay,
But
in a
life is
closed
not just energy, though, right,
in a closed system,
Lisa?
energy cannot be created or destroyed. At our core, we are energy. Okay, so just because the body dies doesn't mean that some part of us isn't going to live on in the universe. I'm not talking about eternal life here. I'm just talking about our energy dissipates. Okay?
So there, okay. So there's your view, right? On Tangela, you understand kind of what her view is that you know, life is a cycle. So she's more referring to the cycle of life as though when the body dies, right? You're basically absorbed. What's left of you gets absorbed back into the earth, and then eventually when the earth, right? We all know that according to our scientists, the earth is going to be destroyed eventually when our sun expands. It's going to expand beyond the orbit of the earth, and it'll eventually die, right? So it'll be basically absorbed into the sun. So what
All the
Lisa's
hope
saying
that
is the
you have,
cycle of life, right?
so all the hope that you have for good things that you can experience, you can have that hope for occurring during this existence here on Earth, and when
That's
you
right.
die, it's over.
That's
Okay,
right.
and I
Yep.
don't. And view is that we have. My hope is beyond what we can experience just here on
Yep.
Earth.
Yeah.
It is that
Absolutely.
when
Yep.
I die
That's what
physically,
you.
that then my soul, my spirit, will be in heaven with God, and it will be eternal. And I will even get a different body, which is described in the Bible, and we will eternally live with God. So, Christianity is not a religion of death; it is a religion of life.
Like, right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, according to
Yeah,
at least
except that according to Christianity, Jesus had to give his life, which is totally fucked up, but I'm not even going to go there in this
That's
live
only
stream.
Western Christianity, I believe.
Okay. Thank you, Krishna.
yeah, there's so many.
No, I'm not Krishna, I'm autarky.
There's
Oh,
so many of
Atlarky.
them. Yeah.
Sorry, Atlarky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
Lisa, you can
problem.
say
You're
that's fucked
Orthodox,
up,
right?
but
Romanian
Christ gave
Orthodox?
his life, really.
I am Polish Orthodox. And
Polish
last time,
Orthodox.
I am the guy who made a fool of himself last time I was on the channel. So
No,
hello,
you're a
everybody who
robot.
remembers me.
You're a
No,
bot.
I knew you were some kind of Orthodox. I just couldn't remember which kind. Okay, so
Most
that's
are the
only
same.
Western.
No,
So
don't
that's
story.
only
Not
Western
important.
Christianity. So what does Orthodoxy say?
Orthodoxy says that the act of death itself is not as important. It was more, well, it will sound like just like a fantasy story, but this is how it is said. So I will just quote the theology. I'm not intending to explain it or defend it scientifically. Just say what is the belief. So
Okay.
Orthodoxy says that the act of death itself is not how ransom was paid. It was not the death instead of the death of others. Instead, it
Okay.
was a God entering a place where God is supposed to not be in order to be there and break hell and allow dead people to live again. It is, you could compare it. Is Krishna by any way Hinduist? Or I
Yeah, he's
guess
a Hindu.
so. You could compare it to a Hindu god. I don't remember which one was it, dying and taking souls with him to get a quicker reincarnation. Except in Christianity, you only do it once for the next life.
Okay.
It is a bit different. It is in. I guess back in the day it was very similar. Now I think the focus changed. The West is more about how the death was gruesome and how awful it is that God had to die, or an innocent man, or however you want to call Jesus or Yesha, how it was his more proper name. But East was more about how more about the mystical side of hell and eternal punishment is no longer like not defeatable, and you don't have to fear death anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Jews
it's a
never even
long
had
and
hell.
probably boring story for most people.
No, it's okay. I actually like learning about this stuff. I'm gonna need to have you back on my channel someday.
If I may, the next thing we do, if we ever do anything, first of all, thank you for letting me in.
Yeah, sure.
Second is the next thing I would like to do is make fun of my own statements in the last time I was here, because when I watch it now, I cringe so badly I cannot finish.
Well, I mean, if you insist, I really didn't find anything, we all make mistakes.
I mean,
And
the main
learning
thing I
from
would. Sorry,
it's
go
the
on.
learning from them that's the important thing.
Yes, I am very glad that I learned from them. You would not expect how much my priest was, not priest, my godfather, who is a priest but doesn't matter, was angry at me for making irrelevant statements, arguing why Moses had to exist and giving like fake scientific information from a conspiracy theory. So that was foolish of me. But yeah, sorry for that, and thank you for letting me back.
No, it's fine.
Where is the bot?
You
Someone
said
get
all
the
are
bot.
welcome here.
Yeah,
Thank
somebody did it. I was trying to do it, and then somebody else did it. But it looks like they only timed it out. You got to hide those, not time them out. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
probably
not.
didn't matter. Just
that
hiding it.
was me. I didn't want to accidentally block somebody again.
Yeah,
Makes sense. In 300 seconds, we can try
Oh,
to snipe it again.
Spooky did it. Spooky got it.
Wow,
Nice.
thanks, Spooks.
So what I wanted to say to Otangelo, if he is willing to listen, first of all, sorry that you're being shunned, from what I understand, by a church. I know how it feels. I don't know if he wants to talk about it, so I'm not going to stay on the topic for too long.
Well, it was
Um,
more just the it was within the community, this so-called Christian and atheist community, you call it, on YouTube. It's just the YouTube community, and there was
oh,
an
Yeah.
okay.
issue
So
there. It
it's
wasn't it
different.
wasn't a church. It was
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In my case, it
Ours
was a
was
bit
an
bigger.
XJW, so that kind of
Yeah.
gets
Yeah,
understood.
mainly what disturbs me is that first of all, I've never made any depreciative comments in regards of trans people in any side chat, in any YouTube stream, and I've been in many streams where the hosts are trans, and I've always treated all of them with respect, and everyone that knows me for more time knows that. And despite
Yep.
of that, they've done it on that playground, on the side chats. Whenever I've come in and make a comment, then I've been blocked. So
Yeah.
that was the reaction, and
Well,
it's
Okay.
special.
Well,
Yeah.
I think on Tangelo, we've certainly we're kind of at this point beating a dead horse. So I'm sure
sorry
you
for
don't
bringing
really
it
want
up
to.
again.
Yeah, we
I just
kind of
wanted to
yeah
say that
we
I'm sorry that happened because I know how it feels.
yeah
Except I am in a more extreme case,
yeah
which is
yeah.
for
So
another
you've
time.
you've dealt you dealt with a church that
And
was not
many
happy with.
people, and
Yeah.
many people actually don't even know that I apologized, and those
Right.
that are
That's the
most
issue. Yeah.
and those which are the most active to block me when I appear, like Uranus, for example, he knows that I apologized, and nonetheless he keeps blocking
Yeah.
me, you
Yeah.
know. And
Well,
I
hopefully
mean,
it will subside. It already has, obviously, on Tangelo, right? I mean, it has. It's
Yeah.
it's slowly subsiding, and it is getting better. But I think, like I said, it makes a difference on your future behavior and how things are. And we all know how you were, you know. And okay, so and I don't really want to beat a dead horse, but another issue is that you may have a dislike for Matt Dillahunty, right? He's a very very well known person in this community, probably the most well known person in this community, and you went after him. I mean, just hey, if you want to go after somebody like that, do it in a different way. I don't know. We all know that. I think the way you did it was just not the right thing to do. You apologize. You know that was not the right thing to do, and you apologize. So, hopefully people will move on from that. But it all depends on your future behavior, really. And you got to earn that back, right? On Tangelo, when somebody,
well,
if somebody,
David,
if you do something,
David, that happened 3 months ago,
right, right.
and
No, I know, I know.
I've really um, never ever did touch even in regards of that topic or any kind of topic that
Right,
has to
right.
do with this kind of stuff. So
Yep. Well, I mean,
if that is not proof enough that I mean my
yep,
focus has never been this. I mean, I made one mistake,
yep.
and basically people are taking that as a reason to cancel me out completely.
Yeah. No, I think it will subside. It already has shown that, and I think hey, it wouldn't hurt Angelo to say I am deeply sorry. I made a mistake and I apologize for that, and just that's it. Just
But
say
I
that.
did that. What
Right,
else?
right.
I
I know.
did
I know
that.
you
What
did.
else
I
should
know.
I say?
I know. I
I
know. I
said
know.
that
But
directly to the person which was in
but
question, and
okay.
I said
So
it publicly.
right.
So what's
Absolutely.
the what?
I don't
And
disagree with that.
nonetheless, people they simply don't they
Right.
are unable to forgive,
Well,
and
I
in the
think I
end,
think that just
this is something that they have to deal with. Why they
right.
are unable to accept an apology.
Right, right. I mean, I would agree with you, and maybe just say, maybe just say that in situations that you run into. Say, I have apologized. What more does it take?
Well, if
Right,
I'm not even permitted to go to a live stream, how should I do that? And if I am
right,
not
right.
permitted to do it in a side chat because there I'm also blocked, If all the efforts
Right.
are being done to cancel me out, how could I do that actually?
Can you make your own video and publish it where you make the apology official and say, if this is not enough, then just tell me what to do?
But in the end, this topic, as long as the more and more you keep it alive, who does it hurt more?
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It would be nice
And
to
I
just
mean,
put it, yeah,
right,
put
and
it to
that's what
rest.
I
Put it to
tried
rest.
to
Yeah.
do. And I am just talking about this because you guys brought it up. It wasn't
I
me.
Right.
did it
I
Right.
on
didn't.
No.
accident. I
I
thought it was
didn't
about
come in.
something
Yeah.
else.
I
Sorry.
didn't
Right.
come
No.
into the stream to talk about this, but you guys brought it
Right.
up, and I
No,
am
someone on the
just
chat did.
say
Sorry
yeah,
about
and
that.
Yeah.
so I am just telling you guys my version. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're in here, Otangelo, because I've been worried about you, buddy. I'm
Yeah.
serious about that. I was worried.
Yeah. Well, like I said, look what's happened. It's slowly mending. The thing is, and hey, my advice is just like I said, reaffirm
Well,
that. Say,
Cryptomaria,
I
she said
apologize.
here. Yeah,
I don't know
let's
what you
move
want to
on.
do.
So
Right.
Cryptomedia
Yep.
said, I have been wishing Otangelo less fear of death. Well, the thing is that since I am a born-again Christian and I believe in Christ as my Lord and Savior, I don't have to fear death anymore, because for me, when I leave this physical existence here, it will be a transition to a better place. So why
Wait
should
a
I
minute.
fear something?
You think we fear
Okay.
death? I
No, I
can't
am
speak for
talking about.
anybody
No,
else
listen,
here, but I
Lisa.
don't
I'm
fear
talking.
death.
No, Lisa. I'm talking about me, because Crypto Mario wrote here in the private chat. I've been wishing Otangelo less fear of death. Okay, so I'm responding to that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
I
so
think what
All
she
right.
meant.
I am
Thank
responding
you.
that I don't fear death, because I believe that as a Christian I've been forgiven by Christ. I received forgiveness for what Christ did on the cross for me, and I am a born again. I am a child of God. I am part of the family of God. So I don't have to fear
So
death, because I know I will go to a better place when I die. So why should I fear death?
I mean, I have a question, if I may. Would a life without eternal life after it be worth less or more?
Well, first of all, if there is no eternal life and if there is no God, then you can live either as a jerk or a saint. In the end, we are all deaf, and what you did during this lifespan will not matter and nobody will remember.
But
But if God exists, and if He will judge our lives, and if it will have eternal consequences, then our life has meaning, and what we do during this life um, is meaningful, and it will influence as well eternity. So I would say,
But
if
what we do,
atheism is true, then this life you can live it as a saint or as a jerk. It doesn't matter, because tomorrow we are all deaf and nobody will
but it
remember.
does matter. It does matter.
no.
You should not live your life here as a jerk. It does matter. It matters now. It
We
matters
I
are
with the
a
think
people that
social
you
species,
associate with now.
Otangelo.
If
What
you
Well,
act
I
like a jerk now,
this is your opinion, David. But
no, what
if my
I,
opinion is different, then it's just one opinion against the other.
you're
What
it's
do
the
absolutely
you
right.
butterfly,
to what
But
it's
moral
the
standards do
butterfly
you
effect.
compare it to?
okay,
Otangelo, it's like the butterfly effect. What I do touches your life, whether you think it does or not. In the
yep,
here and now, it
right,
doesn't
exactly.
matter about eternity. It is what
may I
is here
say
and
something on the
now.
topic?
What can I do
Yep, go
now
ahead.
that will make my fellow man's life
Okay,
better?
okay, Lisa. So let me suppose I go to the bank, I rob the bank, I take out $1 million. I will never be catched. I will go to another country, and I will not care whatsoever about the destiny of those which have trauma and everything else because of the occurrence. I will live the best life that I have with that money, and when I die, it's over. There will be no judgment. Whatever I did, I had my best life through that money which I stole, and those which were
But
traumatized,
Montangelo,
they will
come on.
suffer with that,
That
right?
yeah, that is such a shitty example because okay, you robbed that bank, but if you got caught, okay, what is meaningful right now. You just said it is my opinion if I act good or if I act like a jerk, and my opinion against your opinion. Well, let's put that to the test, okay? We'll put that to the test right now in this whole discussion that we've been having with the issue that you're having, okay? You acted like a jerk in this community, and the community judged you. So, which do you think is the right thing to do now, the here and now? Act like a jerk or act appropriately and be accepted within the community? Now, I didn't act the way you acted. I didn't act the way a jerk. So, you were judged here and now, and the judgment here and now counts, right, Antangelo? It does count. So, who is
Okay, so
right in
let's
that
take.
situation?
Okay, so
Me or
let's so
you? Who
let's
is right?
take. Okay, so let's take another example. For example, in West Africa, there is a dictator. It's a
Yep.
it's a
Okay.
it's a small country with about 500,000 inhabitants. They live in complete under the line
Dictatorship of
of
him. Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
they
Yep.
live below. They
Okay.
live with $2 per day. They live in complete misery. And this is a
Okay.
very
Yep.
oil-rich country. And this guy, this dictator, he is over 30 years in power,
Okay.
and
Yep.
he got huge amounts of hundreds of millions of dollars every month of royalties. And this
Yep.
money is
Okay.
put in the bank in the States and the exterior. And he has a super luxury life. He has mansions all over the world and so forth. And
Okay.
he
Yep.
just is unjust with his own people. If
Okay.
God and if
Yep.
atheism is true, then once he dies, he will have had the greatest life here on earth. All the evil that he did to his own folks and people, it will just be it, and that's it. Whatever he robbed, it
But
will be forgotten, and that's it.
Okay,
If
okay,
I may
Otangelo.
say something here, because
yep. Go ahead.
I think I have a good way to respond to both of those examples.
Okay. Go ahead.
If we start with the last one, because you just brought it up, the dictator, he will live his entire life hoping he does not get assassinated by the next dictator.
Right.
He will not believe his brother not to kill him, because killing him means he gets power. He will not believe his wife not to poison him, because if she has any lovers, she has a reason to kill him and nobody will miss him. If anyone wants the power he has and convinces enough people behind his back, he will die, and after death there is nothing. So his entire life, for being a dictator with nothing and nobody who actually supports him, he will live in complete paranoia, trying to scare everyone forever until he dies eventually in one way or another. This is not a great life, despite what you may think, unless he is insane and loves the paranoia and enjoys the fact that he has to keep everybody intact all the time, every single second, even when he falls asleep. He needs to make sure there is no assassins around him. If that is a perfect life for this man, well, then he is insane. And I think insane people have different morality standards, and they are judged on different bases anyway. So unless that is done, unless we assume that, he would have an awful, awful life. Terrible, actually. He has ultimate power in a single tiny country, which nobody attacks, as you mentioned, because that is the way a dictator can stay in power. But for all his life, he will have a paranoia, and that is not a happy life. He can have anything he wants that exists in his country. He can even take any woman or any man, because there is nobody in power to stop him. But if he loses the power in one way or another, and the best way to lose power as a dictator is to die. So anyone is a suspect, a possible murderer, anyone at all times. So this is not a happy life. And back to the stealing a lot of money and running away. This will be the same situation. You did run away, but the rest of the life, until you get rid of all the money, you will have to always make sure that the money you use is not recognized anywhere. That nobody ever finds out that you actually are the one who stole the money.
Right. You
You have
should
to
be
also
living.
get
You're
the
living in
paranoia
fear.
and
Right.
add additional work into
Yep.
keeping yourself safe. Even if there is no judgment at the end, you're judged by the universe for the fact that you did something universally seen as wrong. Unless you join like a mafia or something that will keep you in the dark forever. But again, this is not the life you describe. You're not having a perfect life in the mafia. You have to always look up to your betters in the mafia to make sure they are not displeased with you, which is not much better than just living a normal life without robbing a bank.
Right.
I would even argue it's worse because a mafia leader will have less remorse for
Let's
killing
put-
a random person joining them than a president, let's say, killing a random citizen who didn't rob a bank. Even if you did rob a bank, there is a bigger chance that the president or whatever leader is in your country doesn't kill you than a mafia leader who wants the money for himself at which house you hidden with the money. So
Let's
I don't
put.
think that. I do agree with you that the idea that there will be a judgment at the end is very pleasing and does help you mentally. But it does not mean that you cannot be judged in this life. Even if there is no people around you to do the judgment, even if no person is there around you to do the judgment, whether you believe that God makes it and makes the universe punish you for it, or whether you believe that it is just a rule in the universe, as most non-believers say, or just people who didn't get the belief, whatever it is supposed to be called, uh, you will be judged for it in one way or another by the fact that you are no longer allowed to live your past life and have nothing from it. No attachment to anyone is
Let's,
allowed at this point because
How
anyone
about?
is a suspect.
How about?
And
How about?
you know, and also, Tanslow, you know, um, you're using what's called the argument from consequences. You know, that really is not a valid argument because we are a social species. Now, there are people who have no conscience. They're called sociopaths and psychopaths, but they're not the norm. The norm is people like you and me who have a conscience and are going to do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do.
And I
Yeah,
have to again agree with
Lisa, you
Lisa.
take that as a given. I'm not. I think the fact that we have a conscience demands an explanation, but an add-on to that thing, disconsidering if theism or atheism is true, if God exists or not, just considering the consequences. If God does not exist, and let's suppose I am a father of a daughter, and my daughter is raped and killed by someone, and police will
Why
never
so
find. Can I
awful
finish?
examples? It
Well,
actually
can I
brings
finish?
back
Can I
evil
finish?
memories.
Can I finish my sentence?
Please don't,
please?
because it actually brings back awful memories.
Yes, but I would like to make a
No,
point here.
Tenso, please, not the R word. Not the R word.
R word.
Yeah, let's
Don't
try to.
do rape stories.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
let's try to use
suppose
something
someone.
else.
Okay, so someone
Use
does something to my daughter. My daughter dies, and police will never find that perpetrator that of
Yep.
that
Okay,
crime.
we get the point. Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so
Yep.
I can
And then
hope
nothing
that
happened.
I can
Right.
hope
Yep.
that when I die and that person dies, there will be an ultimate judgment where justice will be done.
Right.
If there is
That
no
is a
God,
comfort. That is a
if there
comfort for
is
you.
if there
Right.
is no God,
Yep.
then it will just be what it was, and that's it.
That's right.
So
That's
for me, what does that mean? If theism is true, then we live in a world where ultimate justice will be done through God,
So
which is all
let's put
knowing,
this.
That makes no
and will
difference
judge
Can I?
everything that
whoever
happens
that
here
is.
on earth.
It just
If there
means
is
you are
no
likely to be a
God,
god. That's all
then
that means.
all evil will simply not all, but most evil will just not be punished, and when it's over, it's over.
Antangelo, can I put your God under the
Makes no
microscope?
difference either way.
Can I let's put your God under a microscope here. So let's say that okay, there is a God, right? You believe there is a God. You believe there will be judgment in the end. What about the here and now? Now you believe there are miracles being performed by your God now. Your God is all powerful. People pray, and you believe certain miracles that occur right now, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So where is your God when it comes to a situation like that where your daughter was harmed? Where is your God? Why isn't he stepping in the here and now? Because you claim he does these things, heals people from illness when you pray and certain things. So why isn't your God performing a miracle to prevent that type of suffering that you may occur?
Yeah, if you would expect that God would intervene every time when someone
Oh, Randall, sorry.
does
But you're saying
perpetuate.
he's going to anyway, Otangelo. That's the point.
Right. Why
He's
wouldn't
going
he just
to intervene
annihilate that person?
anyway.
Why couldn't he just okay, if a person is evil, let's say you consider that person that did the harm to your daughter is an evil person. Why wouldn't he just snuff that person out? He has that ability. He knows what the future is. He knows what's going to occur. Why wouldn't he just snuff that person out before these things occur? He has that
Yeah,
That
capability.
would
I
be
mean, he
yeah.
he
predestination.
He,
he
he
The
lets
healed.
them
consequence of
commit,
that
he
would
lets them
He'll
be,
commit crime and then
yeah,
says,
Dave, let me respond to that.
I'll deal with you later. He lets them rape people for 20 years and then judges them after. Just don't let them do it in the first place. Wouldn't that be more moral?
Right. Go ahead, Angelo. You want to respond? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the truth is, I mean, I've seen that criticism often and also recently at my Facebook timeline. The thing is, if you expect that God prevents um, every harm to be perpetuated against someone which cannot defend itself, if God should do it in one case, he should do it in all cases, and then in the end he should prevent all evil to occur, and then he has to remove free will because then nobody can actually freely choose to do evil. And once you have that situation, you
No,
have
no.
basically created robots which are
But that's
pre-programmed to do exactly
Okay,
always that which
Otangelo.
you. Can I finish? Can I finish, Lisa?
okay.
And
In a
then
minute, I want
wow,
to.
wow, okay. I am, I
Okay.
am,
Okay,
I am, I am
I
leaving.
will mute
If I
you.
can, okay,
I will mute you,
okay,
Otangelo.
bye.
All right. All right. Yeah. Oh,
Okay, maybe I
yeah.
shouldn't have brought it
That
up.
yeah. That is a very difficult subject, and people do go on and on. Okay. Uh what should
The point is, okay, logic made an astounding point on his channel, and it's like, okay, well, somebody wants to kill somebody else. Okay, well, let's say he has a gun, right? And the gun has a bullet in it. Well, the killer can choose to pull the trigger. The bullet's just going to bounce off and not do anything. What's wrong with that? He
Yeah.
still had the choice of whether or not to pull the trigger.
Not
It's
Yeah.
to
just
yeah.
mention
bullet can do anything.
you can have the bullet fire normally and get the person in like a shoulder instead of like a heart. They will get hurt. The evil deed was done. Nobody died. They can heal, and the person who shot the bullet can be punished properly for shooting a bullet at a person without any death necessary.
Okay, Angela, I'm sorry, but when I want to talk, I will talk because this is my channel.
Uh,
Quite correct.
I like to think about. Sorry for changing the topic on all of a sudden, but
No,
I
go
want to
ahead.
say about what Lisa just said.
no.
I like to think that your YouTube channel is like your house. Uh, when you invite people in, it does become a public meeting, especially on a live stream, but it's still your house. You still have the right to say you stay, you don't. Okay, now I speak because it's important. And if somebody doesn't like it, like Otangelo didn't, they can leave. They also have the right to just leave if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, on Tangelo, everybody goes on, right? Okay, so I mean, there's been people in this room that have really gone on and on and on, and you didn't cut those, and the reason being is because Tangelo is in a room where the entire room disagrees with what he's saying, so that's why it
I
becomes.
mean, I partially agree, but not on his reasoning.
Right. Like everyone disagrees with him.
Yeah, you can come
The
back
weird
in
thing
at
is,
any
I
time. It's no
technically
big deal.
agree, but
I'll let you back in.
I actually agree with him. It's just that his reasoning, even to someone who agrees with him, I don't agree with the reasoning.
The problem of evil is a major thing. It's been a major thing within.
I have like a 20-book
religion.
collection of 20 books collection of God versus evil. And it's not an easy topic.
Problem.
It's a huge thing for like centuries.
That's a big problem for theists. Yeah.
And you wouldn't even know how many atheists are struggling with like just a hypothetical of an infinite being, like immortal or omnipotent being. Would it be ever possible to call them good or evil at any circumstance at all? And this is like a big topic, and you cannot just use a simple example to explain it away.
Right.
But like, if I may go back to one of the questions, like arguments he had, and try to pick it up myself.
Sure.
I think about afterlife and Christianity being a death cult. Well, let's just address the fact that someone said that Christians just wait to die to go to a better place. I think that this is an unhealthy thing. And I don't say this as like a random person saying it. I can quote Orthodox bishops, but I know nobody wants to hear them. If they want to hear them, they can watch their streams and their videos. But I think that when you do something just for a reward, is it really that you are a Christian, or is it that you want to get paid for a job? Is it that you're a good person because you believe in the good given by a specific ideology with religion around it? Or is it that you're a good person because you want a payment after? And would that make you, well, I will quote the bishop, sorry, because he made it in English better than I can. He said that it is good because you do good things, but that doesn't necessarily make you a good person. A good person, even in Christianity, would just say, I am a good person because being a good person is good. I am a Christian because being a Christian is good. You don't need a reward. And even if there is no reward, a real Christian would say, there is a God that I believe. And even if there is no heaven for me after it, I am a Christian because I want to be one.
Can I ask your position? You are a Christian? Is that what you refer yourself as, a Christian?
I am an Orthodox Christian now, yes.
Orthodox Christian, yeah. And
Yeah.
what does that
JW.
what does that actually infer?
Okay.
So you're believing in an afterlife. So you agree with Antangelo as far as
I believe that there is an afterlife, but I don't believe I don't believe with his reasoning that there must be an afterlife for the meaning of this life.
Okay.
This life is not any less meaningful if there is no afterlife. It also is not any less meaningful if there is an afterlife. Something has a worth in itself, and if it doesn't have a worth in itself, like, for example, if I give you a piece of bread and ask you how many vitamins does the piece of bread have, and you check it and you say none, if I add a strawberry on top of it and ask you how many vitamins does the piece of bread have, you say, well, the strawberry has them, but the piece of bread is still the same piece of bread. It doesn't change the thing. So if this life has no worth, then whatever you add at the end of it or on top of it does not change the worth of the life itself. If this life has a worth, let's say the bread has crumbs in it and good, whatever, I don't know how it's called, the thing that you make bread from. If it has vitamins and proteins and good things inside of it, this bread is going to be healthy no matter what you put on top of it. Even if you put like chocolate that's artificial on top of it, if you take it away, the bread is still healthy. If you put it on top, the bread is still healthy. Just the artificial chocolate is not healthy. The same with the piece of fruit or vegetable. So I wouldn't judge. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Go on. That's it.
No, I was
Okay,
saying it does make
Walmart,
it taste
you
better
haven't
though. The
jumped in here,
chocolate.
so why don't you jump in here? What do you have to add to this melee?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Not much. Like I said, I can see it as a hypothetical if a god exists, but not believing a god exists. Problem of evil isn't a problem for me, because
I also agree.
doesn't give
It
a
is not a problem.
crap about what anything we do. I can take it on as a hypothetical, but from my point of view, there isn't a problem of evil.
From my point of view, evil is not a
I
problem.
don't have much to add to it, to be fair.
I just think evil is not a problem. It's just a thing that exists. Like bigger problem is, I think, I don't know. That's how much I have to say. I will not just start a random topic by saying what's a bigger problem than evil in itself.
No, what you said made sense from your point of view. I can see it from your point of view. That makes sense. I'm just saying from my point of view.
Yeah.
You know, Atlarky, your old religion, the Jehovah's Witnesses, somebody had the gall to call hurricanes evil, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, if let's say if like a random woman gets angry at her ex-boyfriend and throws a rock at him and he dies, is the rock evil now? I mean, and let's say the rock just flew because of wind.
There wasn't any malicious intent.
The woman would be evil and not the rock that just flew because somebody threw it. It's the same with like wind.
I don't even think the woman would necessarily be evil. I mean, if there was no malicious intent, say the man, zigged when he should have zagged, or
I mean, if he tried to kill her and she defended herself and her intent was not to die, I guess you're right. If her intent was he is sleeping right now, he is not doing anything wrong, I'm just gonna kill him, then that's
right.
It is also nothing is simplistic.
It is situational, it is situational. But say, like say she just got angry for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
And she picks up a rock and she hits him and she accidentally kills him. Well, I mean, even our imperfect laws make allowances for stuff like that, I mean, it's not considered murder necessarily. In most instances, that would be manslaughter. She just got angry. She didn't mean for him to die. She just meant, to hit him, knock some sense into him or whatever, and now if she picks up that rock and starts pounding him, then yeah. But just
I was not trying to accuse a non-existent person who just was made up by me
No, I know what you're saying, but I mean, there is such a thing as, there's just, if somebody picks up a rock and throws it at your head, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to die from that, you know. But
Depends on the size of the rock. If the rock is big enough, 9 times of 10, you will die from that.
well, if it's that big, they probably can't throw it to begin with. But
If the woman is
know,
like a bodybuilder, she can throw.
But you know, I mean, we're just talking about like a rock that you would find on the ground, right?
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make it a bit less tense.
That's why when they stone people to death, they have to use many,
But,
many,
I
many
mean,
rocks.
you know, the dude that she's mad at, you know, he might have a an aneurysm that
I mean,
nobody knew
the dude
about,
might
right?
as well be like the dude might as well be a serial killer. I mean, he doesn't exist. He can be anything we want him to be. We just made him up.
But anyway, but my point is, you know, if
I
there's
do
no
believe
malicious
that.
if there's no malicious intent, you
Yeah.
know, then I don't believe that that person is an evil person. They just did
I do
something in the
agree
heat of the
that
moment.
I do agree that an act can be either justified or done unintentionally, and that does not make you an evil person necessarily. The act itself might be evil.
Oh, inside chat. Everyone can do one.
Please get the bot.
I will. Which is the bot?
Winnie Mosles or Mosles.
Somebody else. Hide it.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Can we not
it's like
ban
someone-
the bots? Okay, I guess not.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can, if you do it correctly. Yeah, you can.
Okay. So that was
can I
one
ask
of
you,
the topics.
You used to be a Jehovah Witness. That was
I
a
used to be a
previous
Jehovah's
religion.
Witness. Yes.
Yeah.
And now, when I said it that I used to be Jehovah's Witness, if you had any Jehovah's Witnesses in the audience, they just left because I am cursed. According to them, I am a cursed follower of Satan now for whatever reason. Even though I say I believe in God and Jesus, they say I believe in Satan and just lie about it. I don't know. I do know, but I don't want to explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jehovah Witnesses. I don't know. At least in my area, they're just, like people just say, just get away, get away, get away. I want nothing to do with you. You know, because I don't know, the doctrine or the what they follow is just so. It is crazy. Like a lot of the stuff. You know, how did you approach the doctrine? Was it, you know, you don't celebrate birthdays or Christmas or, you know, you don't celebrate any holidays? There are a lot of crazy.
I do have a video on my channel about it, but it speaks on a different topic. So I think I should answer. I think it was just because I was brought up inside of the doctrine. And that is why I didn't.
I'm sorry. When Charles Taze Russell was alive, holidays were fine.
I know. I do know. And I did know that back when I was a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. What part of the world
are you from? I could explain how it works for them, but what? I am from Poland, like I said. Polish Orthodox Christian.
Oh, okay. So you live in Poland?
Yes.
Yeah. And there are, is that where you originally practiced your Jehovah's Witness prior to?
This was when I practiced Jehovah's Witness religion.
And it was prevalent. It was prevalent in Poland.
Yeah, it is prevalent to this day. They just during COVID show themselves publicly very much less and take a bigger approach on focusing on the people already inside than people outside.
Yeah, yeah. So it's throughout the whole world, I guess, right?
There are places where there are no Jehovah's Witnesses, and the goal of Jehovah's Witnesses at this moment is to make sure that no such places exist.
Yeah. That's
the problem is such places are, for example, North Korea and
Right.
Why? Yeah.
the Holy Mount Athos, or the monastic republic of Holy Mount Athos. And I think the Orthodox monks who live alone in a monastic republic will not want Jehovah's Witnesses in there.
Be tricky to mission to them, I would imagine. So there's not.
And also, there is this one
you don't
island
get there.
with cannibals where there are no Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, there used to be one who wanted to convert them. He didn't come back.
He ended up on a pot.
So now you're a Christian Orthodox, right? You said so. Don't they consider Jehovah Witnesses? They would consider them not Christians, correct?
Here comes the tricky part.
Okay.
Christians
In
say
other
that
words,
Jehovah's Witnesses are not Christians, and Jehovah's Witnesses, at least where I am in, and I don't want to say which part it is, in case those people were to get in trouble in the organization. At least where I am, Jehovah's Witnesses officially claim they are not Christian and never were Christian. Because
really?
they say Christianity is fake and false and always was.
So they don't consider. So in your area, they don't consider themselves Christians.
Yes. I don't know
wow.
whether it's like global or just Poland or just my city or just this one single group. I do not know that, but I know there is a group.
Do you know anything about that, Lisa? What are they like in the United States? We're in the United States, so
okay.
Don't they consider themselves Christians in the United States, at least? Right?
I've always thought.
They consider themselves "quote unquote" real Christians.
Right,
They
right. That's what I
consider
thought.
that-
Right.
Every Christian thinks themselves.
I said it's
They
a
all-
tricky
they all do
thing,
that.
right?
Right.
So
They all
listen.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they consider "quote unquote" Christendom to be apostate.
Yes.
Right.
Because they say Christendom and real Christianity is two completely different religions.
Right.
Makes sense? No, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, right.
Because when you add the real word on the beginning of the sentence, that makes it a completely separate category, obviously, and not just a certain way. It's just a completely different thing now, right?
This is why I'm an atheist because of this factor.
Are you an
This is-
atheist
this
or
is-
a real
yeah.
atheist?
I'm a real atheist. I'm the real
I'm
deal.
a genuine atheist.
So all the other
Yeah.
atheists are not real atheists. They're all fake. You're
I'm the only real deal. You have met the only real deal today. So you should consider yourself privileged.
He's a fake atheist. I'm the real
So,
atheist.
Cryptomaria, what do you mean? It's getting weird everywhere. Can you elaborate, please?
I think she was
Hey,
responding to someone else in the chat, but I might be wrong.
My point was my point was being an atheist is much simpler.
Yeah.
I don't have to
Oh, it
worry
is,
about-
definitely.
There are no doctrines that I have to follow, so it makes my life a little more simple.
I think Crypto
Well,
was referring to her shunned pastor friend.
But
Oh,
when I
yeah.
was coming out of religion, and it's not just me, it tends to be all religious people who come out of religion, they do have to grapple with the fact that there is no "quote unquote" ultimate justice, you know. And that's just something that we have to come to terms with. Those of us who believe there is no "quote unquote" ultimate justice. You know, I mean, but in the long run, nature does not care about your feelings.
Oh, that is very true. But if I may
It
add
just
something,
doesn't.
if I may add something, that may be weird, maybe just personal experience. Maybe nobody else had it. But when I was leaving Jehovah's Witnesses and looking for a different religion because I still believed in God, I did have the experience you just mentioned. Because Jehovah's
Okay.
Witnesses have a very, very specific and ultimate view on God's judgment.
Right.
And even the idea that the judgment would be lesser, and like I will get to the point in a very short moment, was I think the same thing as the idea that there is no judgment. And why is that? I will tell you right now. Because when you go from religious to atheist and you go from believing in a judge to believing there is no judge, there is still some kind of judgment in this life. For example, after you kill someone unjustly, you either become an insane person who likes killing people unjustly, which is punishment in it of itself because you're less of a sane human, or you have torment in your own mind forever. And if you're oblivious to the fact that it was unjust, then you're just not learned. You don't have the wisdom to understand it or the knowledge to understand it. And that is why it happened. So in a way, this word thus punishes you, just not the way most religious people think would be sufficient. And after leaving, I don't want to call them a doomsday group, but they do believe in the ultimate judgment being very, very bloody and very, very filled with death and punishment and whatever you Catholics think of hell being evil. Jehovah's Witnesses somehow made it happen in a single day and doubled it by 10. I don't know how you double by 10, but it did it. So that's how going from having the idea, having the thought that there will be ultimate kind of punishment, that there is, which is so big and so unimaginable that you cannot possibly do any wrong, to God forgives just because. And maybe there is no forgiveness because I was not in any different religion at the time. So I had the idea that maybe God does not judge us, or maybe God is not at all what I thought. Maybe it's just the cause of existence, and it's not a personal relation type of deal. I was
So like a deist.
Between a deist and between a deist and just a general theist without a religion. That was me back then.
Okay, gotcha.
So the problem, I started looking at things in the religion I used to be in, which I officially still wasn't, which is Jehovah's Witnesses, and I also started reading up on, I guess it's a thing a lot of people do, but in my case it was weird. I was looking at my ancestors' faith, but my ancestors were Jews, so I started looking up Jewish theology.
Yeah.
And Jews have a lot of very weird things if you think about it.
Yeah,
If a
they
Jew,
do.
if
But,
a Jew, I don't mean what you read in the Christian Bible. I mean
Yeah.
Judaism itself. When you read some of their beliefs or you listen to some of their beliefs and you don't know they are practicing religious Jews, you would think they are just an atheist. For example, if you ask a Jew, what happens after death? They say, you die.
Right, right.
But the end, they do believe there is something after it. But if you ask what is after, they say you are dead. Your last breath leaves your body decomposes. And if you ask them what's heaven like, what's hell like, they will give you either a very general answer like, hell is the idea that bad people have bad time with dying. And heaven is the idea that when you die as a good person, you die happy. And when you ask for specifics, they will not give you many. They will just ask you, why do you need them? It's not necessary. And in a weird way, I agree, which is weird. It is very weird. I cannot explain that too much, but I believe it. That I believe that whether whatever is after death, even though I do believe there is something after it, whether it is just your body decomposes and last breath returns to the cause of your life, which is either just nature or a god. I believe it to be a god, but I will not force you to do the same. I am completely fine with just ending it there and not going further. I do believe there are things further, but I do not if they were questioned, if there was proof in any way that that is it, your last breath just leaves, and that's it. It just, you're not conscious of the things that happen after. I would say, okay, at least I will have some peace after all of it. I will have my eternal sleep, which I didn't ever get because I have to always wake up and work. It is a normal thing, I think, for people who leave an ideology that kept them blocked in a way. After leaving, you're like, what do I do now? And after you find people who have very different opinions who are happy with them, you are in, after you find a completely different version of explanation of what happens after, or what is right now, or whatever you were struggling with or leaving or you stopped believing in, you will, if you find a better answer, you will struggle at first because you are used to the first thing. And if you find a better answer and you are completely believing in it instantly, because it just makes sense and it shows how much weird was the last thing, which I don't want to get into detail in regards with what Jehovah's Witnesses believe happens after death, because it's wild. Let me just say, if you think Christians think weird things about the Bible without reading the Bible, you don't want to know what Jehovah's Witnesses think with reading the Bible. None of that is in the Bible, but they somehow can put that in, patchwork it together. Doesn't matter.
Well, but see, Atlarky, those are your beliefs.
Yeah.
And
I can only prove so far as the last breath leaving.
Yeah.
And the body decomposing. And if I cannot prove anything further, I am still fine with just this. I would call the last breath soul leaving, but if you don't think the soul is conscious, I am still fine with that.
Yeah. I don't begrudge anybody their beliefs. That's not the point of my channel. If you believed what you believed and you didn't want to legislate it, you didn't want to shove it down my throat or other people's throats, you didn't want to dress it up as science when it's nothing but a bunch of stupidity. And I'm not saying that your beliefs, Atlarky, are. I'm saying young Earth creationism is stupidity, and it's their belief system, but they try to dress it up as science. And that makes me mad.
They also lie a lot. It's not just stupidity. They also lie a lot.
Yeah.
Why would you mix religion with science? Science is, I will quote my godfather because he said it in a funny way and I like it. He says science and religion are two different animals.
They are, but if you talk to a young Earth creationist, okay, and I used to be a young Earth creationist, they will say religion and science are the same thing. That's what they'll say. I guarantee you.
Wait. I do know such people, but I think science isn't about what happens after, because science doesn't care. Science says we can check matter, we can do things on scientific tests, and if they find anything that cannot be tested, which sometimes happened, they just say, okay, we're going to leave it for now, check it later. We cannot explain. They just openly say we cannot explain. Like, for example, there was a time when they couldn't explain in any way how superposition works. So they just openly said, we don't know how it works. For us, it's magic. Maybe in the future, we will be able to explain it. Now they have a few explanations, and they still are unsure. And it's fine. I mean, this is what science is. Science isn't supposed to be a belief system. Science is just a way to learn about the physical world. And when you start talking about things that are not physical, that are religious, spiritual, or whatever you want to call it, don't mix it with religion, or wrong. Don't mix it with science, because why would you use a microscope to look at the moon? That's not the right tool. This is not supposed to be used that way. A microscope is supposed to be used to look at microbes and maybe your own skin if you want to look how it looks, or maybe a fly or something tiny.
Right.
It is, I just think, the same way as in the Eastern Roman Empire it was, that while religion is needed to care for the soul of the people, or we would just call it the mental health of the believers,
Okay.
science shouldn't be mixed with it, because
I agree.
It can't do it anyway. Scientific method can't
Yeah.
study the supernatural. Can't prove anything
And as
supernatural.
long as
It
as
can't-
long as you don't mix the two, and as long as you don't try to make your religion dictate what others do with their lives, I'm totally fine with you believing whatever the hell you want to believe.
I mean,
I
there is
don't really
one
give a fuck
thing.
what you believe, you
I do
know?
agree with you on a way that I think if you force, let's say, I will do a big assumption just to make a simple point, but bear with me.
Uh-huh.
Let's assume for a moment something I wouldn't like to. Religion should be nowhere near mental health
I
either.
actually
Well, it
agree with
helped me with
if
mental
you mean
health. That's
if you
why
mean
I brought it
spiritual
up.
health, I think mental health is something different. I think if you mean spiritual health, I don't think mental health
No,
is.
in my specific
Oh, in
case,
your case,
religion
yeah,
did
yeah,
help,
that's
but
right.
I'm not saying it would help everyone, because I know people,
Yeah,
including people in the same hospital as me, who, because of religion, started believing they are the third coming of Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it gets. Yeah,
Like, not even second, third
Yeah.
coming.
yeah. Probably best not to give people with mental health problems.
I'm not legally
more-
allowed to tell him
Yeah,
anything about him, and other than like
yeah.
personal experiences with. I cannot give his name legally, nothing.
No, you
Yeah, I
shouldn't.
know. We know. We know.
But that is like, some people will find help in cooking, others will find mentally disturbing the act of cooking, others will find help in religion, others will find it disturbing. Some people would get sick because of both of those things, or none of them, or anything else. I
Actually,
Right,
don't
right.
think that there is a one specific activity or community.
talking therapists, psychologists. I wouldn't bring religion in any big way. It might help an individual person, but I wouldn't bring it in as standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that when somebody makes the leap of trying to explain the spiritual scientifically, or explain things that should be explained by science with religion, aside from just making huge leaps, you cannot really touch a lot. Like, let's say something that's not specifically religious, so we can be on common ground easier. Let's say there is a house that is believed to be haunted and there are ghosts in it. You can send a priest to exorcise the house. You can send a scientist to check if there are any ghosts. Most
No,
probably, if the priest is
no.
not like of a religion that does believe in ghosts, he will say, well, I don't see any demons, so I leave. Or maybe he finds some and does something. Scientists would just maybe do some tests and do some recordings, but in the end, I don't know whether any of those would be.
Supernatural, and science can't prove supernatural in any way, shape, or
Yeah,
form. Incapable of
I
doing
think a religious priest would have more of a chance to explain it theologically, which doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily make it true, because in my personal belief system, not personal, in my belief system in the Orthodox Church, we believe that ghosts do not haunt houses. But if a priest decided he wants to prove that it is actually haunted by ghosts, he would have an easier way. And another way, if you want to check, for example, what happened a million years before human race started on Earth, if you just look into the Bible, you'll probably not find stories back enough, because they
Yeah.
were written by humans, and
Yeah.
nothing before humans is really with dates and stuff. So yeah, not really. And if you are a scientist, you can take up. You cannot specifically say 1 million years before, there was this one creature who ate his breakfast with his like sexual partner. You cannot make, but you can kind of guess that maybe there were trees growing here. Yeah, so scientists would have a better way of figuring that out. And I'm not saying any of this is. I'm not saying this as an authority because I'm neither a scientist or a priest at the moment. I just think that people who confuse the two or try to mix them in weird ways, including me back in the in this channel, is just I learned it the hard way by doing it and then getting explained over and over why this was wrong, but I needed it apparently. Non-overlapping. Wait, what was that? Was it towards me or towards someone else? Non-overlapping magisteria, 2,000 plus years of religion gave us nothing apart from a lot of worry and no answers. 200 plus years of science, and we are on this chat and we know things. I wouldn't think religion gave us a lot of cultural improvement and a lot of art and a lot of music.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah,
it did give us art and music.
And books.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? I just want to let everybody know I have to head out. So thank you very much, Lisa, for having me, and
thank you as
thank you everybody for.
It was great meeting you.
All right, bye, Krishna.
Have a great night, guys.
You too.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. I was just
David was
never get rid of that guy.
David, sorry, David.
How you doing,
it was great meeting you.
But I think I'm actually gonna start winding down.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me in, even though I made a fool of myself last time. It was nice speaking here.
No problem.
And thank you everybody in the chat for not hating on me instantly. You do have reasons after my last visit, but thank you.
Hate is against my religion.
It is against mine as well. Thank you very much for.
Krishna's a Hindu. Krishna's a Hindu, so
I know Hinduism
really
a little bit. I have
I
have your holy book, one of them. I know there are many.
Okay, so anyway, people, if you want to join my channel, you can do it for as little as 99 cents a month. I am getting some videos out early to my members. So, 99 cents will get you that. And
she has cute anime characters in her animations. Not really anime, but still cute.
Yeah, thank you, Larky. But
I have a message for the people in Lisa's YouTube chat. Save yourself from burning hell. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you.
Yeah. So so like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys later. Alrighty,
Yes.
bye.
Bye.